Hello, fans, and welcome to This Day in Baseball, where we're going to bring you a full radio broadcast of today's game. And before we do that, I just want to thank Classic Baseball Radio, and there's a link in the notes where you can check out their full channel. They have many great radio broadcasts. And while you're listening to today's game, if you want to check out much more about the game and the players, look on the links below, and you're going to see links to player pages, the date the game happened, the year it happened, and the play-by-play. Enjoy the game, and check out the links while you're watching the game, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that every time new content comes out, you're going to get that firsthand. And thank you again for checking out This Day in Baseball, and enjoy the game.
We've had a change in the starting lineup from what we originally received, but here's the starting lineup now for the New York Yankees. Leading off and playing left field is Mickey Mantle. Mantle in left field. Bobby Richardson at second base. Richardson at second. Roger Maris in right field. Maris in right. Joe Pepitone at first base. Pepitone at first. Tony Kubek will be at shortstop. Kubek at short. Tom Tresh in center field. Tresh in center. Clete Boyer at third base. Boyer at third. John Blanchard will do the catching. Blanchard the catcher. And Mel Stottlemyre will be on the mound. Stottlemyre will do the pitching. Now let's take a look at the starting lineup here for Houston. Joe Morgan at second base. Morgan at second. Al Spangler left field. Spangler in left. Rusty Staub in right field. Staub in right. Walt Bond first base. Bond at first. Bob Aspromonte will be at third base. Aspromonte at third. Jim Wynn in center field. Wynn in center. Bob Lillis at shortstop. Lillis at short. Ron Brand the catcher. Brand catching. And Turk Farrell, the right-hander, will be on the mound. Farrell, a right-hander. So the Yankee lineup again: Mantle in left, Richardson at second base, Maris in right, Pepitone on first, Kubek at short, Tresh in center field, Boyer at third, Blanchard catching, and Stottlemyre the pitcher. And for Houston, Morgan at second, Spangler left, Staub right field, Bond first base, Aspromonte third, Wynn center field, Lillis at short, Brand the catcher, and Farrell the pitcher. Governor John Connolly of Texas now is all set to fire out the first baseball on the first base side. And he throws it to catcher Ron Brand. And Ron now is bringing it back up to the box seat and handing it to the governor. And Warren Giles of the National League is also down there. So John Connolly has thrown out the first ball here. Governor Connolly now has given the ball to Warren Giles, and he evidently asked him to autograph it and said, "Warren, my name's already on there." So we're just about all set to play ball now. Astros are taking their warm-up throws down the right side. And the two managers are getting together at home plate. You know, Lowell, this is a homecoming for number 21 down there, Johnny Keane. And he is going over the ground rules now with skipper of the Houston Astros, Lumen Harris. This evening's broadcast is authorized by the Houston Astros Baseball Club to be used only for the entertainment of our listening audience. Any other use of the descriptions and accounts of this play-by-play broadcast without written permission of the Houston National League Baseball Club is prohibited. And there go the Astros out on the field. Spangler to left, Wynn to center, Staub to right. Aspromonte to third, Lillis to short, Morgan to second base, Bond to first, and Brand the catcher. Photographer's getting a few shots of the umpires and the managers down at home plate. Mel Steiner of the National League will be umpiring at the plate. Larry Knapp of the American League at first. Dan Landis of the National League at second. And Al Salerno of the American League will be at third. Temperature 72 degrees. Wind is calm. Sky is clear. As Turk Farrell takes his warm-up throws with catcher Ron Brand. We were a little bit early getting on tonight to cover the pregame ceremonies here. And I neglected to mention it, but we do have our usual crew here tonight. Lowell Pass, Harry Callis, our producer Bob Boyne, and engineer Bob Green. I want to send out a few extra thanks to Mr. Bob Green, who has been practically living here for the past 2 days after we got back into Florida to get our setup all ready to go for the 1965 season. And I know that you can tell already that he has done his usual magnificent job. The lead batter for the New York Yankees is going to be Mickey Mantle. Now, I might say that Mantle is being bothered by that hamstring muscle in his right leg again, and I don't think that we'll see too much of Mickey tonight. But he will make what I believe will be a token appearance, and I assume that's the reason that Johnny Keane has moved him to the leadoff spot so that he can get a bat in the first inning. I'm just strictly speculating now, but I doubt that Mantle will play too much tonight. He was not originally in the lineup, but Johnny Keane shifted his lineup around and has moved Mantle to the leadoff spot, a spot, of course, that he normally will not occupy during the season. But Mickey will get his swings here to get the ball game underway at least, and then he has been bothered by that bad leg, and I assume will be taken out. Elston Howard will also miss tonight's game. As I mentioned, Mantle has the hamstring muscle pull, and Howard has injured his arm during an exhibition game in Puerto Rico a few days ago. So the catching duties tonight for the Yankees will be handled by John Blanchard. The Astros will come in tonight with a spring exhibition record of 12 wins and 8 defeats, and 5 more games remain on the schedule. We will give you the play-by-play story of all 5, of course, with 2 tomorrow, the Orioles tomorrow afternoon, and the Yankees tomorrow night. The third base umpire, Al Salerno, as they broke up the conference at the plate, started to cut in front of Farrell's fastball, and he quickly stopped. No damage done. Well, we're all set to play ball, and here's Mickey Mantle. Mantle, a switch hitter, batting left-handed against Turk Farrell. Mantle is hitting .324 this spring with 2 homers and 4 runs batted in. He has 1 double. Mel Steiner working the plate. Farrell all set to throw the first pitch. And here's the windup in the first pitch of the ball game, and it's a ball low and outside. And the first ball is being taken to Warren Giles, president of the National League. Steiner call time. Ron Brand trotted over to the box seats on the right side to present the National League correctly the ball. So the first one thrown here in actual competition, although an exhibition game, has been given to Warren Giles. 1 ball and no strikes on Mickey Mantle. And here's the pitch now by Farrell. Ground ball, base hit up the middle. Jimmy Wynn comes in to make the pickup, and Mantle just does get down to first base. You can see that he has an ailing leg. He trotted down, and there's the first hit of the ball game on the second pitch. So Mantle has singled, and that will bring up the second baseman for New York, Bobby Richardson. Richardson, the right-handed batter, hitting .229. He has 5 runs batted in and 4 doubles. Al Spangler in left. Jim Wynn in center. Rusty Staub in right. Bob Aspromonte at third. Bob Lillis at short. Joe Morgan second base. Walt Bond at first. Ron Brand the catcher. Farrell ready now. Watches Mantle on first base. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's low ball. 1 ball and no strike. Mantle on with a base hit. Frankie Crosetti coaching down on third for the Bombers. Vern Benson coaching over on first for New York. No score. We've just started. Mantle on with a base hit. 1 ball, no strikes. Start of a go by Richardson. Held, and it's in there for a strike. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Roger Maris has moved to the on-deck circle off the left side. The Yankees occupying the third base dugout here at the Astrodome. Turk ready again now. Not too big a lead by Mantle off first base. The pitch to Richardson. Ground ball to the shortstop. Lillis goes to second. Out there. Throw to first. No double play. Ball was just not hit hard enough for the double play. Lillis fielded it just off the infield grass. Went to Joe Morgan for the force on Mantle. And the relay to first base to Walt Bond was not in time, and Richardson safe over there. Here now is Roger Maris, the New York right fielder. Down the foul lines here at the Astrodome, it's 340 feet. 340 to right, 340 to left, 406 feet to center field, and 390 to right center and left center field. Richardson takes his lead, and Maris takes a high outside fastball, and it's ball 1. Turk has not had a good spring. He worked 13 innings up to this point and has allowed 19 hits. And his earned run average is 5.54. Turk has struck out only 1 batter this spring and has given up 2 bases on balls. Pitch on the way to Maris. Big swing and a miss. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Just a magnificent sight here tonight. We may have close to 50,000 people here tonight. I see an awfully lot of standing room occupied in center field. Stretch again by Farrell now. Richardson takes the big lead, and Maris checks the swing just in time. A high inside fastball. He started to go, but held up on it. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 count. Maris is hitting .243 this spring. He has hit 2 homers and driven in 8 runs. He has come up with 3 doubles. Richardson edges away from Wall Pond. Here's the pitch into Maris, and it's a little bit low and outside. So the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. A lead single by Mickey Mantles. And Mantle was erased on a ground ball to short to Lillis as Richardson hit into force play at second base. 1 out. And Joe Pepitone will be up next. Top half of the first inning. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Maris. He walked him outside ball 4. So the Yankees have put 2 on. Richardson moves up to second. Roger Maris takes over first. And now the colorful first baseman for the Yankees, Joe Pepitone, steps in. Pepitone is hitting .209. 2 homers and 13 runs batted in.
Sake of comparison, the first baseman you talked about, Stewart, was no shrinking violent. This fellow, very similar, Gene?
Very similar, Lowell. He plays a better first base, though. Oh! Pepitone, a real good ball player, and will be for some time to come for the Yankees. Runners on first and second base. Richardson on second, Maris on first. Outfield is playing Pepitone pretty well straight away. Arms down by Farrell now. Here's the pitch on the way, and a fly ball left field. Al Spangler coming on for this one now. He's there, and he has got it, and they're up to down. So Pepitone on the first pitch lifts a high fly to not too deep left field to Spangler. As Richardson moves back to second, Maris back to first, and that will bring up Tony Kubek. Kubek is hitting .283. Left-handed batter. 2 on, 2 out. Top of the first inning. Farrell against Mel Stottlemyre. Will be working for the New York Yankees tonight. Kirk takes his time now up on the rubber. Checks Richardson on second base, and the first pitch in is a strike up around the letters. Strike 1. You know, I think, Lowell, one of the interesting, look at all the players down at the dugout up on the rim taking this side in here tonight. They're not even back in the dugout bench. They want to get as close as possible. Here's the pitch on the way now. Fly ball, left center field. Jimmy Wynn and Spangler there. Wynn makes the call, got it. He's out of the side. Kubek flies to left center field to Jimmy Wynn. Top of the first inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 men were left on base. Top of the first, the Yankees nothing, and the Houston Astros are coming to bat. Right-hander Mel Stottlemyre taking his loosening up throws out on the mound as we swing into the bottom half of the first inning, no score. Johnny Blanchard shoots it down to the second baseman, Bobby Richardson. And the lead batter for the Astros is second baseman, Joe Morgan. He'll be followed by Al Spangler and Rusty Staub. Here's little Joe. He's batting 163 this spring. 1 run batted in, 1 double. Joe has played a tremendous defensive second base and has not been hitting the ball as badly as his average indicates. Stottlemyre takes his time now and checks his defense. Third baseman, Clete Boyer, in on the grass. And here's the windup and the first pitch by Stottlemyre. Ground ball right side. Bobby Richardson there for it. On over to Pepitone, 1 down. So Morgan hits the first ball pitch and bounces out second to first. That'll bring up Al Spangler. Stottlemyre has pitched 32 innings for the Yankees this spring and has given up 29 hits. And he evidently is picking up here this spring where he left off last year at the World Series. His ERA, 1.97. Stottlemyre. Here's Al. He's hitting .304. Spangler, left-handed batter. 1 run batted in this spring, 4 doubles. Al has had a real good spring. Stottlemyre's first pitch low outside gets away from Blanchard, ball 1. Jimmy Adair coaching at first. Those of you fans who will be watching our ball club in action in person this year, Jimmy Adair is wearing number 3 this year. Jimmy changes his number every season. And Jim Busby on third. Ball is low. Ball 2, no strikes on Spangler. 1 out, nobody on base. Bottom of the first. Stottlemyre in 32 innings this spring has struck out 21. So he has that pitch going for him. He's given up only 6 bases on balls. Now base hit, I believe. No. Tom Tresh is back. He got it. Sounded good. But carried right into Tresh's hands in left center field. 2 out now. That'll bring up Rusty Staub. Rusty is, after a very bad start this spring, The last couple of weeks has been looking real fine. Rusty's gotten his timing back. And just about everything he has been hitting the past couple of weeks has been on the line. 280 batting average. First pitch low, ball one. Rusty has hit 2 homers, 8 RBIs, and has 2 doubles. 2 out, nobody on base. Bottom of the first, no score. Morgan has bounced out. Spangler's line to Tresh in center field. Ball a little bit outside at the knees. Ball 2, no strikes. Mickey Mantle left field. Tom Tresh center. Roger Maris at right field. Clete Boyer on third. Tony Kubek at short. Bobby Richardson second base. Joe Pepitone on first. Stottlemyre rocks back now. Here's the pitch on the way to Rusty. Swing and a miss. He took a dandy cut on that one. 2 balls, 1 strike. President Johnson has just arrived in President Judge Hoffein's box, high over the stands in right center field. President Johnson has just arrived, and he is in the box up there now. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the windup and the pitch to Staub. Rusty hits one high, deep into right center field. It'll be caught. Tracy's over, and the right fielder, Roger Maris, steps in front of him to make the catch on the edge of the warning track to retire the side. 3 up and 3 down, no runs, no hits. No errors, and nobody left on base. And at the end of the first inning of play, New York nothing. Just announcing on the PA that the president has arrived here at the stadium tonight. Center fielder Tom Tresh will lead off for New York now as we move into the top half of the second inning. And they have just flashed a picture of the president on the screen in center field and up on the message board now. Welcome, Mr. President. Tresh will be followed by Boyer and Blanchard. The ball game has been held up now, and almost all the fans here, I would say all of them, looking in the direction of the president in the box, high over the right center field stand, and giving him an ovation. Most of the fans here giving him a standing ovation. Here's Tom Tresh now, center fielder, left-handed batter for New York. Outfield pretty well straight away. Here's the windup by Farrell on the pitch. Tresh was going to bunt that ball, and he took it low and outside, ball 1, 1-0. Kirk, 30-year-old right-hander, stands 6'4", weighs 220 pounds. Kirk trying to get back in the groove after a rough spring. And all set again now. Here's the pitch on the way to Tresh. Swinging a fastball up around the letters, and he missed it. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. We'll have some scores for a little bit later on. There's a night game going on tonight, exhibition game, and there are some afternoon finals, which we'll report to you. There's a change of the slip pitch. The Farrell gave in too high to Tresh. And the count moves out to 2 balls, 1 strike. First of the second inning, no score. Yankees and the Astros. Farrell against Stottlemyre. Clete Boyer in the on-deck circle off the left side. The pitch to Tresh. Line drive left field. Spangler over for this one now. Al on the run. He's got it, and there's 1 down. Tresh is line to left field. That'll bring up Clete Boyer. All of us here in the broadcasting booth tonight would like to send out a special hello to King Cole, who was a uncle of Betty Robinson, who is the wife of Eddie Robinson, our farm director with the Astros. King is in Herman Hospital now. He's a real good Astros baseball fan, and they're making plans to get out to see the opener, but couldn't make it tonight and is looking forward to getting out real soon. So a special hello to King Cole from all of us here in our broadcast booth tonight. Ball, it's low. Boyer the batter, 1 out, and John Blanchard, the catcher, will be up next. Ground ball right by Farrell, and into center field for a base hit. Willis over, couldn't get it. And the big turn on first by Boyer, and Wynn's throw goes back in. A little Joe Morgan out by second base. So Boyer has bounced the second hit of the ball game, a hopper through the box. It bounced right by Farrell's pitching hand into center field. Mantle opened the ball game with a base hit, and now Boyer single. 1 out, Boyer on first. Here's the catcher, John Blanchard. Hitting 189. 1 homer and 4 RBIs. He has 1 double. John Blanchard, utility man deluxe for the Yankees, is working the plate tonight. Boyer takes a very short lead off first base. Farrell's pitch, fly ball, center field. Jimmy Wynn coming on fast for this one now. Slows up and makes the play on that one, and there's 2 down. Blanchard lost a lazy fly ball to center field to Jimmy Wynn, and that will bring up the pitcher, Mel Stottlemyre. No score, top of the second. 2 out now with Boyer on first base. Those of you who are not too familiar with the Dome Stadium here, it's 208 feet. from second base to the top of the dome. 208 feet there. Here's the stretch now and the pitch on the way. Foul. That's up into the seats. There's the first souvenir for somebody. The first souvenir that has been hit into the stands. And it's one strike on Stottlemyre. Boyer hanging close to Bond on first base, waiting for Farrell to get set. Arms down again by Turk. Here's the pitch now. There's a fly ball. Shallow center field. Lillis going out. Morgan going out. Wynn makes the call. Jim's there. Jim's got it to retire the side. No runs and one hit, no errors. And one man left on base. We go to the bottom half of the second inning here at the Astrodome. There's no score. New York nothing and Houston nothing. Bottom half of the second inning, and Walt Bond will lead off. He'll be followed by Bob Aspromonte and Jim Wynn. Well, the Astrodome has quite a few distinctive features, of course. One of them is the pretty close to the tallest foul poles in the business anyway. They go way up in the air above the ninth level.
KRLD, AM and FM, Dallas.
Guys and one double. Walled off to a slow start this spring. Stottlemyre's pitch. There's a tap off the right side. Pepitone fields and touches the bag just in front of Bond. Stottlemyre was over to cover, but Pepitone, seeing that he had no chance to hand the ball to Stottlemyre, made the play himself. Bond topped that ball, a roller toward first base, and is out unassisted by the first baseman, Joe Pepitone. Here's Aspromonte hitting .277. 2 homers and 13 runs batted in. Astro has hit 4 doubles. No score, bottom of inning number 2. Outfield deepens up and swings around the left side. I know all the fans are anxious to see someone hit a home run here tonight so they can see that scoreboard go off. There's the ball low and outside, ball 1. 1 out, Bond has rolled to first. Stottlemyre is still a youngster. He's only 23 years old, and as most of you fans know, was a great aid to the Yankees at the tail end of last year. Very high fly ball. That's way up in the air, left center field. Tom Tresh making the call on it, coming in from center field. Aspromonte has been retired, 2 down. Here's Jimmy Wynn. Wynn has had an exciting spring. Has done a tremendous job defensively for Houston. And on the batting side, comes in here tonight with a .250 average. Jim has hit 2 homers. He had 4 runs batted in, 4 doubles and 2 triples. And Stottlemyre's first pitch, strike. He stuck that bat up, pulled it back, but evidently Mel Steiner, the plate umpire, said it was in there anyway. Strike 1. Stottlemyre stands 6'2" and weighs 175 pounds. He's a native of Hazelden, Missouri, but he makes his home now in Madison, Washington. He has pitched in the major leagues less than a year. Jim fouls 1. That is headed just under the press level, or the second seating level, the mezzanine seat. And another souvenir here at the Astrodome tonight. 2 strikes on Jimmy Wynn. 2 outs, nobody on base. Stottlemyre started the season with Richmond in the International League last year, where he won 13 games and lost 3. And after being called up by New York, helped them to win the American League pennant by winning 9 games while losing only 3. The pitch to Wynn. Fastball. That's a little bit low outside. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Bond is rolled out, and Aspromonte is fly to center. No score. Yankees nothing, Astros nothing. Bottom half of the second inning. Wynn swings, and he misses, and he struck him out. So the first strikeout. Wynn goes down swinging. Stottlemyre's retired the first 6 men to face him tonight. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. The end of 2 innings of play. Yankees nothing, Astros nothing. Moving on to the first half of the 3rd inning here at the Astrodome now. Yankees nothing, Astros nothing. And now let's hear from Harry Kelly.
Thank you, Gene. Mickey Mantle will lead off for the New York Yankees. He'll be followed by Bobby Richardson and Roger Maris. Mantle has 1 of the 2 hits off Kurt Farrell. He singled to lead off the ball game. And the first hit in an official game here at the Astrodome. Farrell winds. The pitch to Mantle is high and inside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Mickey Mantle, who has hit 454 career home runs, more than any other active player. Willie Mays is only 1 behind him. Mays has hit 453. Kurt Farrell looks in at Ron Brand. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's high with a fastball, ball 2. 2-0 to Mantle. Mantle, the switch hitter, batting left against the right-hander Farrell. Mickey's batting average is higher right-handed, but his home run frequency is higher left-handed. Mantle also leads all active players in career runs batted in. A high foul off on the left-hand side. That ball is out of play and a souvenir for a fan. Great grab up above us, apparently, as the fans down below look up and send out a round of applause for some fan who apparently made a nice play at the ball. 2 balls and 1 strike to Mickey Mantle. Bobby Richardson on deck. No score. We're in the top of the third. Now with that pitch, swinging a bounding ball to second base. Joe Morgan scoops, fumbles, recovers, throws to first. It's in time by a half a step. Mantle is out by a half a step. As Dean mentioned earlier, Mantle is still bothered by a pulled hamstring muscle, and of course, had he not been affected by that, he would have beat it out. But Joe Morgan recovered in time, and Mickey is out of there. That'll bring up Bobby. Bobby grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up. Hitting .229 this spring, a right-hand batter. Here's the pitch to him. He takes the fastball inside. He has to back away. Ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Bobby Richardson. Richardson last year for the Yankees hit .267. Set a World Series record for most hits last year with 13. He grounds 1 to second. Morgan scoops it cleanly, throws to first, and Richardson is out for out number 2. So there are 2 down in the top of the third, and that'll bring up Roger Maris, the right fielder. Maris walked his last time up. Here's Maris, who of course hit 61 home runs in 1961. He came to the Yankees from Kansas City in December of '59, and a trade in which the Yanks also obtained Kent Hadley and Joe DeMaestri. The Yanks gave Kansas City Don Larson. Here's a pitch, a mighty swing and a miss, strike 1 on the fastball. Kansas City in that trade got Don Larson, who of course is now a member of the Astros, along with Marv Throneberry, Hank Bauer, and Norm Siebert. Here's the next pitch. A slip pitch is low for a ball, and it's even at 1-1. 2 out and nobody out. Top half of the third, and there's no score. A packed house at the beautiful all-new Astrodome. Now Farrell's 1-1 pitch, a high fly ball into center field, fairly deep, but Jim Wynn is back, pounds the glove, comes in a couple of steps, and makes the catch to retire the side. So the Yanks are down in order in the third. No runs, no hits, there were no Astro errors, and none left on. And after 2.5 innings of play, it remains a scoreless tie. Moving into the bottom half of the third inning, Bob Lillis leads off for the Astros. He'll be followed by Ron Brand, and then the pitcher Kurt Farrell to face Mel Stottlemyre. Stottlemyre, 23-year-old right-hander, who was the International League Player of the Year last year. Joined the Yankees in August and won 9 games for the Yanks. The pitch to Lillis is in there with a fastball called strike 1. 0-1 to Bob Lillis. No score in the bottom of the third. Mel Stottlemyre looks in at catcher John Blanchard. Next pitch is grounded foul down the first base side, off the screen in front of the Astro dugout, and bounds into right field, where it's chased down by the fat boy, and the count is 0-2. Stottlemyre ahead of the hitter, Bob Lillis. Stottlemyre last year hurled a 7-0 2-hit shutout at Washington on September 26th, and he'll long remember that game because he went 5 for 5 at the plate. There's a high ground ball to third. Clete Boyer has it behind third, throws across the diamond, and Lillis is out of there for round number 1. That'll bring up Ron Brand, Astro catcher. Brand this spring hitting .250 in exhibition games with 3 home runs, with 1 home run, 3 doubles and 1 triple. Ron, a right-hand batter with 1 out and nobody on. Stottlemyre winds. The pitch to him is a little bit low with a slider, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Ron Brand. No score in the bottom of the third. The first official game to be played here at the Astrodome. An afternoon game tomorrow against the Baltimore Orioles. The Yankees again tomorrow night. Sunday afternoon against the Yankees. Sunday night against Baltimore. Line drive into right center field. Far back goes Roger Maris. He can't get it. It's going all the way to the fence. Graham round in second. He's going to drive for third. The throw comes in. Graham is going to round third and now holds up the third with his stand up. Listen to that crowd as Ron Brand triples to right center field. Ball that went past Maris. Grounded off the fence at about the 400-foot mark, and Brand is on at third base with the first Astro hit in the Astrodome. That brings up Kurt Farrell, the pitcher, with a chance to aid his cause. Ron Brand at third base and one man down. Brand took a sweeping turn at third base when Maris missed the cutoff man, second baseman Bobby Richardson. But Tony Kubek was there behind Richardson to take the relay throw, and Brand immediately hustled back to third. He's on at third base with a stand-up triple. No score in the bottom of the third. The Astros with a runner at third and one out. Here's the pitch to Farrell. A ground ball to second base. Richardson holds the runner at third, throws to first, and Farrell is out of there for out number 2. So will take a base hit now. It brings up Joe Morgan, the leadoff man, who grounded out second to first his last time up. Little Joe has hit 163 in spring training games, but that is not indicative of the way he has hit the ball. He's hit the ball very, very well. Joe Morgan, the left-hand batter. Ron Brand at third base. 2 men out in the bottom of the third. Al Stottlemyre, the right-hander, looks in at John Blanchard for the time. And the pitch to Morgan is a swing and a miss, strike one on the fastball. 0-1 to Joe Morgan. Morgan, a fast man, was the most valuable player in the Texas League last year. He had 323 for San Antonio. Here's the next pitch to him. It's inside low. Nearly got away from catcher John Blanchard. And the count is even at 1-1. Ron Brand at third base with a triple. That's his second triple this spring. 2 men down in the bottom of the third. And there's no score. The Astros with 1 hit and the Yankees with 2. Now a 1-1 offering, swinging a ground ball to first base. Pepitone has it, waves off Stottlemyre, makes the unassisted put out, and then retires the side. Before the Astros, no runs on 1 hit. There were no Yankee errors, 1 runner left on. And at the end of 3 full innings of play, it's the Astros nothing and the Yankees nothing. Well, I don't own all the coffee in the world, but I'm certainly going to enjoy a cup of Maryland Club right now, and that's Mike, you to turn the microphone over to Lowell Pass. Lowell?
All right, thank you, Harry, and hello, everybody. What a thrill it is. And the peg goes down to second. Joe Pepitone, the leadoff batter for the Yankees. Then Tony Kubek followed by Tom Sex. There's no score in this ball game. 2 hits for the Yankees, 1 hit for the Astros. This is the top half of the 4th inning. Left-hand hitter, Joe Pepitone, up there. He flies to left field. It's Spangler's first time. He calls time and wants the rosin. And now the fine tar cloth. Yep, those Yankees used the rosin bag and the pine tar cloth also there. Gene, did you know that? No score in the ball game. And certainly so delighted to be numbered among those here on broadcasting baseball from the fabulous Astrodome. A strike tall as Farrell brings on the first pitch. That looked like just medium speed stuff. And Pepitone taking all the way through. Joe batting at 207. Here's the pitch. Swung on in a high pop foul. It's the out of play. Souvenir to the lucky fans here in Houston's fabulous Astrodome. That makes, let's say, 3 of them, doesn't it? Well, that's quite a treasure. That's a trophy. Take home a baseball from here. And that goes for not only tonight, but for any game that any of you attend. Farrell, into the wind-up, the rock back to pitch. Swung on, hit into right center field, deep. And it's not too deep, though. Back near the very edge of the warning path. Jimmy Wynn is back there, and he gloved it. It's one away. Well, as we have said all spring, and progressing right along, Jimmy Wynn has shown us some of the best improvement of not only players listed on our roster, but any major league roster. Jimmy Wynn in center field. And all the fans who are here tonight, just ask them about it. It happens to be a next-door neighbor of yours, a relative, member of the family. Just how does Jimmy Wynn look in center field? Tony Kubek's about it. Strike call of beauty right down the middle. Kubek flied to center field his first time, hitting at 279 this trip around. He was 283 at the start of the ball game. Pitch is just a shade off the mark, a little bit outside. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out, no base runners. New York Yankees at bat here, top of the 4th inning. Scoreless ball game. Tom Sweat waiting to come up next. Farrell's pitch, Swung on, hit out into left field high, down near the line. Spangler coming over fast. Can he get it? He's there. He's got it. Within about a couple of yards of the left field line, Spangler didn't have too much trouble. It was a long run, but plenty of height on that top. Oh, boy. Fellas, you've heard this on television, but this is the first time you've ever heard it on radio. This game is coming to you in living color. And you just have to be here to see it and believe it. What a beautiful and giant scoreboard up there. Wonder who's going to activate that spectacular. Here's a high pop by Trash off to the left side to short. Here's the play. Lillard's out there waiting. On that green carpet, he's got it. And it retires the Yankees in order. No runs, no hits, no one left. And there were no errors. Those of you who happen to be tuned in with those transistor radios down there, just stand around here and will sort of salute you there with a Maryland club. Al Spangler leads off, followed by Rusty Staub and then Walter Bond. No score. Let's see if we can get something going. What do you say? Well, we're up against the defending champs of the American League, this annual champs almost, you can say. Spangler hitting at .298 over the course of the exhibition season. But we've got 5 more games to go for the regular season start. Spangler hit one to the right side through there. Base hit. So the journeyman ball player drives one through the hole between second baseman Richardson and first baseman Pepitone. Base hit to the right side. And that amounts to the second hit that we have picked up off Mel Stoudemire. And a nice hand as Rusty Staub is announced. Rusty flied out to right field is first trip. Well, of course, double play depth infield. Shaded off to the right side a bit. And Stoudemire pitches down. Rusty swings, drives down to the second baseman. And Richardson goes down to short, back to first. And it's a double play. Shortstop Kubek covering. And on the throwback to first in plenty of time for the double play. Richardson, Kubek to Pepitone. 4-6-3, of course. And with 2 down in a hurry, that brings on Walter Bond. No score in the ball game, and it's moving rapidly along. Well, a lot of people have asked the question, what sort of a baseball game can you expect to see here? High-scoring game? Low-scoring game? A no-scoring game. There's a drive out towards left center field. It's in there for a base hit. Might go for 2, could go for 3. The big bomber is digging to second, and he'll be content with a double. Wait a minute, he breaks out the ball gets past the relay man. Goes on to third. So Walter Bond, who pulled up to stop just as he rounded second, then accelerated and spun it on to third as the ball went past the cutoff man. A double and an error. Error, Kubek. So E6 if you score with it. And there is the first error of the ball game. No score. And with 2 down, Bob Aspromani is the batter. Our third baseman has tried to center field in his only appearance. And Jim Busby coaches up at third, having Bond trail off a couple of big strides and a half or so. And he widens it as the stretch is made and the pitch low and away. Dug out by Blanchard off of the right two-top almost. Jimmy Wynn standing by at the on-deck circle, which is an emblem of our Astrodome. And the baseball's that circle, of course, orbiting. Ready, Stoudemire's pitch. Swung on and missed, and there was big sweeping stuff. Duke Carmel, an outfielder, and Bob Schmidt, one of the catchers, doing a little loosening up down along the left line. Duke Carmel and Bob Schmidt for the Yankees. All right, no score. Aspromani waiting the pitch. Swung on. There's a softball hit down the left side of the shortstop. Kubek up with it, over to first in time, and that retires the side. Well, almost, but not quite. And for the Astros, no runs with 1 hit, 1 left. There was 1 error. And so at the end of 4 innings of play, the Astros nothing and the Yankees nothing. Well, here again at the Astrodome, it's time to batter up. And the leadoff man will be Clayton Boyer for the Yankees. He'll be followed by Johnny Blanchard. And then we'll see, as there is no warm-up activity on the sidelines, Mel Stoudemire perhaps. We'll have a chance for our station identification coming up after this batter. All right, here's the pitch now to Boyer. Takes it way up high, ball 1. Cleat came through with a base hit single in the second inning. Boyer batting .286 to start the game, and that rolls the average up to .295. The pitch, low and inside, a ball. Now ready? The big right-hander, Farrell, rocks back, shoots, swung on, hit down past third base foul, just out a couple of 3 feet or so. And third base umpire Al Salerno putting on a little spectacular, letting everybody know that was foul. And I guess the players appreciate that sort of thing. It saves a couple of 3 or 4 running steps down the line. And all the way around. No score in the ball game here at the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. And I know that many of you who did not get to make it out here tonight will be here tomorrow or sometime during the season. Foul up and back. That'll go into the crowd. Well, let's see what color that went into there, boys. That's the coral red, isn't it? Right. That is in the mezzanine. We are on the club level. This is the third seating level. 1, 2, 3. Let me count them. We've got 6 seating levels. 9 tiers or levels. Here's the pitch in there for a strike and got him. So strike 3 to retire leadoff batter Paul Young. While we wait now for Blanchard, let's pause for station identification. This is the Astros Baseball Network.
You're where the action is on KRLD AM and FM Dallas. The time is 8:31.
And our first pitch to Blanchard is popped up back of the plate, off of the mask, Brand trailing out under it, and Little Ron takes it off to the right of the plate. Let's get an estimate on the distance from the plate back to the screen, the backstop. Let's see, I'll count it. 10, 20, 30, about 35 feet or so, I would say. And likewise off to the right side, a little more than that to the very leading edge of our dugout. Houston occupies the first base dugout. A lot of people like to be behind the dugout. Well, okay, they're down there. The longest dugouts in all the world. 2 down, and here's Stottlemyre taking the first pitch for the ball, a little high and away. 0-0 on the scoreboard. Stottlemyre has been up now the second trip to the plate and flied to center the first time. Swings and hits one down the right field line. Rusty Staub coming, and it goes over just in foul territory. He takes it for the put out. Now Highland lost it down the right field line, giving Rusty plenty of time. And so for the Yankees here in the 5th inning, down in order. No runs, no hits, no one left, and there were no errors. Well, the game goes now to the last half of the 5th inning. The Houston Astros, nothing, and the New York Yankees, nothing. All right, Gene, and Jimmy Wynn leads off for the Astros as Mel Stottlemyre goes back to the mound. More action up there. No score in this ball game. The only meeting between these 2 ball clubs this year, the Astros edged out the Yankees, as you most know, I'm sure. Those of you who follow regularly on our broadcast. I say thanks for the nice comments, letters, and cards, and so on. We appreciate them, and we haven't forgotten them. Wynn checks the swing and fouls it off. Jimmy had a notion to give it a good cut that time. Checked the swing is strike 1. Wynn struck out his first time at bat. Stottlemyre has allowed only 2 hits, a triple by Ronnie Brand, a single by Al Spengler. Mel is a low-bone right-hander who rocks back now and ready. The pitch. Turning away from it, high in at the shoulder. Wynn has the count of ball 1 and strike 1. I would say between 45 and 50,000 spectators here tonight. And we've got a doubleheader tomorrow and doubleheader on Sunday, opening game against the Phillies Monday. Wynn takes breaking stuff low and inside. Many times, of course, it's hard to tell exactly what kind of breaking stuff, so just as long as we keep it just about in the area, I know that you're happy. Can't tell sometimes whether it might be a screwball, it could be a sinker. The pitch swung on him, and he had him fishing around out there, trolling around. He was committed already and went on through, and Jimmy gets a little confirmation there from umpire and catcher. I was really fooled on that, wasn't I? Yep. Yes, you were. The count is ball 2 and strike 2. No score. We're in the last half of the 5th inning. Now working. Wynn swings. Hits down the left side. Boyer lets it go down to shortstop Kubek. Over to first base in time. Boy, jump off of the bench down there. The Astros figured that Wynn might have been safe on that. But the first base umpire, Larry Knapp, says out of there. And it's one away. Well, he's getting a little bit of needling off of the bench off to the right side. Here now is Bob Lillis. Bobby bounded by 3. Third to first in the 3rd inning. Lillis, 318 average. Pitch. Bob hits down the shortstop. Kubek coming in and bobbles momentarily, then throws in time. Oh, boy, that Pepitone is a classic first baseman, isn't he? Nifty around the base over there. And looks like there's nothing to it. Now 2 in a row have bounded out. Short to first. And here is Walter Bond. Brian, I should say. Brian gets a nice hand because they recall his demonstration of speed. Being a catcher, he is fleet of foot, and he powered one up the alley in right center, just about 400 feet away for a triple his first time at bat. Takes a strike, in and over. Ronnie Brand, of course, has done an outstanding job getting a chance to be regular with our Astros over from the Pittsburgh organization. All right, here's the pitch. Swung on, a high pop into medium deep center field. Tommy Craig just gliding in under it. He's there and has it for the putout. Well, up and down in order for the Astros here in the fifth inning. No runs, no hits, none left on. There were no errors. And so the team changed sides. The Yankees will give it a try at the plate. And the score is Astros nothing and New York nothing. All right, Gene, thank you. Well, the Earthmen down there are taking care of the chores, kind of manicuring the dirt portion of the infield. Oh, nifty job. That was their first try. And they get a round of applause from a lot of the people here. Listen to that. We, of course, are honored to have the President of the United States, President Lyndon Johnson, visiting here tonight to see the first game ever in the world's first air-conditioned dome-covered stadium. And our Governor John Connolly, and many other dignitaries, city and county officials. All right, here's the leadoff batter now. Mickey Mantle, and he swings and misses for strike one. The mighty Mickey Mantle, I recall in 1951, he was coming along from way down in the lower minor leagues, and they said 2 days before the season started, he hitting home runs all over the place, that he couldn't make the team. Drives one into deep center field. Wind backs up. He's on the warning track. Near the wall's up. He can't get it. It's a home run. I believe, let's see what the umpire's given him a signal for home run. Mantle hit it 406 feet from home plate. At the roar of the crowd, here it is. And on the big screen in center field, as Judge Hopeye said, when the opposing team hits a home run, it says tilt up there. So the Yankees lead it 1-0. But he tilted the boards on that one. The Yankees lead as Mickey Mantle in the first game competition here at the Astrodome gets the first home run, and that's quite fitting, isn't it?
We interrupt this program to bring you a special weather bulletin from the KRLD newsroom. John Brooks reporting.
U.S. Weather Bureau has issued this severe thunderstorm forecast for portions of central and south central Oklahoma, portions of north central Texas, and that area in Texas does include the Dallas-Fort Worth area. A few severe thunderstorms with large hail and locally damaging windstorms are expected this evening from 9 o'clock until 3 o'clock tomorrow morning in the approximate area along and 60 miles either side of a line from 30 miles southeast of Mineral Wells to 70 miles east-northeast of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The north-central Texas portion of the area is bounded by Wichita Falls, Breckenridge, Granbury, Italy, Farmersville, and Bonham. And again, the Dallas-Fort Worth area is included from 9 o'clock until 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. A few severe thunderstorms with large hail and locally damaging windstorms are expected. This Weather Bureau bulletin from the KRLD newsroom.
Maris, Roger Maris, pick. Strike one. Maris is looking for his first hit. He walks and flies to center. And Roger's hitting at 240. Pitch swung on and a high pop, very shallow in the left field. Play goes out from short, and he's in front of Spangler and has it for the out. Lillis goes way on out there and makes a nice run back to haul that one down, looking up over his shoulder. That brings on Joe Pepitone, the real scrapper, this Pepitone. Mantle has homered, hitting one just over the barrier into the center field seats to the right of the runway. The first run of the ball game, the first home run ever in two-team competition here, opposing team competition. Put it that way. There's a drive going way back up into the mezzanine big foul, and it's a foul strike for Pepitone. 2 down, no base runners. Mantle was stroking left-handed against right-hand pitching. Most of you know that. He got his homer. Fastball up high. A ball and a strike. The count for Pepitone and Tony Kubek waiting around. 1-0 Yankees. 6th inning. And Farrell raising it glove way up high for the left shoulder. Here's the pitch. Swung on. Over for Flea's head. Out to the left of second base. Going in for a base hit. And Pepitone turns and holds on as Wynn makes that throw right back in on top of the bag to Joe Morgan. And that was the reaction we heard from the crowd. That throw from Wynn to Morgan. base hit. Pepitone driving one out there into center field to the left of straight away. Bringing to the plate Tony Kubek, batting left-handed. And he's flied out both times, to center and to left. His first is set. All right, 2 down, 1 run across. The man at first. The pitch is high, and Brand turning around, daring the runner, Pepitone, down at first base. Kubek has played in 19 games prior to this evening and has been up 62 times so far this spring. All right, here's Dick Farrell. A check over the field of the pitch. Swung on and missed, and he really breezed past him on that one. Out of way to fire now, Church. Ball 1 and strike 1 with 2 down. A 1-0 ball game for those of you just dialing us in. You have to sit there for minutes and minutes, passing 5-10 minute mark without getting your score. Farrell setting his time. He's ready. A lead off at first. Bond holding up against the run of the pitch. Swung on, hit out to right center. Wynn going over. And Rusty going back. Let's see, Wynn says he's got it. He's got it over the shoulder on the warning track. Hey, a nice running catch out there. All right, the roar of the crowd lets you know about it. And the Yankees get 1 run. They came up with 2 hits, had 1 left on, and there were no errors. We go now to the last half of the 6th inning. The score is the Yankees 1 and the Astros nothing. Well, let's get down to business now. Dick Farrell will come out and take his turn to the plate as we go for the last half of the 6th inning. Farrell has been up once and hit a smash and was thrown out second to first. Ground ball. Well, a low-scoring affair for those of you just cutting in on your radio sets right now. Here we are with the last of the 6th inning, and it's Yankees 1 and the Astros nothing, and Mickey Mantle smacks one straight away into center field for a home run. Farrell swings and smashes foul. He was trying to tie this ball game up. Well, when you first come out here, you know, I don't know, people standing around, we wondered, will it fill up? Oh, yes. Just, say, about 10, 12 minutes before the game got underway, you could see that practically every seat was taken, and so standing room only space. There's a slider outside. Ball 1 and strike 1. And between 45 and 50,000 people are here. And I tell you, they've enjoyed every minute, every pitch so far, without a doubt. But there's so many things to see, and it's truly overwhelming to try to think it over and describe this one, low and outside. And, of course, our business at hand is to describe this ball game, first and foremost. An accurate description with a little color around the edges, right? Good. Ball 2 and strike 1. Farrell is leadoff man. Morgan and Spangler will follow. The pitch, and he takes it inside up tight against the hitter, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Hey, what have we got cooking up on the front burner here now, huh? Oh, so many things have been said about this Astrodome, and that is just the beginning. To say that it is utterly spectacular is saying nothing, really. Oh, he got a strike on the inside edge, and Farrell had the bat right straight up in the air almost there. Saying, come on and throw it. I don't believe you can get it across, but he did. 1-0 Yankees, and Stottlemyre with a payoff. Here it is, and it's ball 4. He's on. We get what represents the tying run at first base. And Farrell removes the helmet, and let's see what goes as he trots a bit over to the right. They're going to keep him in the ball game as Turner Demure puts on the windbreaker. King?
Oh, I think it's a tribute. We might mention it right here to Johnny Keene, the New York Yankees, and Mickey Mantle for his staying in the ball game as long as he has tonight, even though he is suffering from a very bad right leg.
Indeed so, Gene. Well, I don't know. This is an inspiring sort of a thing here. I don't know. This might make anybody get well in a hurry just to come out here. But as you say, certainly 100% true that we've got to say hats off to Mickey Mantle, Johnny Keene, and all the teammates of Mickey Mantle, those Yankees down there, too. All right, infield up a little bit now for double play ball. Joe Morgan hits it down to the first baseman. Through there. He can't handle it. And it goes into right field. Pepitone had his glove down and the ball bounced over. They might score him an error on that one, Gene. Let's see. It is E3. Error. Kirk held up at second base. So Morgan got one through. It seemed to bounce just over the glove of Pepitone. He was trying to sort of scoop with his glove off to his right. He didn't get over in front of the ball, and it was not a smash either. All right, Al Spangler. And you can just almost look for the sacrifice bunt, but whether you'll get it or not, well, we don't know for sure. And that's another thing, of course, that makes baseball such a great sport, isn't it, huh? You never know what to expect. Many times. The unexpected occurs. Boyer sweeping down from third base. The pitch is swung on. He was swinging straight away and fouled it off for strike one. What about down in spring training, the first baseman was creeping in, left the bag, in a bunt situation, and the big, strong, muscular football-type left-hand batter took a mighty home run cut and hit a line drive right past his ear. Boy, it whistled right on by him. The bunt situation. But now let's see, as Busby has come up and yelled something down to Spangler off that coaching side at third base, off of the line. And Boyer Cleat has backed off to the very edge of the infield. That now comes in a couple of strides. Stoudemire working the pitch, and he bunts off down third base play. Let's see if it stays there. It's allowed to roll, and it's beyond the line. It's a base hit, I guess. It is. All hands are safe. It's so dead on the chalk mark just inside of it, and it's a base hit. The bases are loaded. And a way to throw in there. That's great. Boy, that was saving it pretty thin there, wasn't it, Gene? I think they ought to put that baseball in the Hall of Fame. This got that white chalk all over it. Well, the catcher, Johnny Blanchard, has gone out to the mound to talk to Mel Stoudemire. And Rusty Staub is up there with 3 men on. Kurt Farrell, of course, is third. Joe Morgan at second. And Spangler getting his second base hit of the evening. This time bunting one perfectly down third, allowed to roll. And it died in fair territory, about 4 feet from the bag at third base. How do you like those apples? All right, here's Stoudemire. The rock back to pitch. Low and outside for ball one to Rusty. So the redhead from New Orleans is up there. Pete Mickelson is in the bullpen working now for the Yankees, a right-hander. Mickelson, a one-nothing ball game. Yankees leading. Bases loaded for the Astros. And President Johnson up there is on his feet. Let's see, as Rusty swings and fouls off to the left side. The tension mounts. Oh, you cut it with a knife here. The Astros up against the mighty New York Yankees. The image has been created of the great Yankee baseball team down through the years, and it lives here in all of its splendor, I guess you can say. Honestly, say it that way, in the colorful Astrodome. Even the Yankees are awed by this sight. But right now we've got a hot game going. Rusty takes low and away. That broke off from a left-hand batter, and it could be a little bit of he's turning the ball slightly, sort of a screwball delivery. I noticed Paul Richards is up there in the box to greet our president and to pass along perhaps answers to questions that could be put in his direction. And if anybody can answer him, he can, of course. Here's the pitch. Rusty swings and hits it down to the right side. And the knockdown to Peppercorn. Throw to second. Tie ball game. Kirk scores. The throw to second. Of course, it's Spangler there. And 2 runners are safe. It's a 1-1 tie. Houston and the New York Yankees. So Rusty is safe on the fielder's choice. RBI for Rusty. And Walter Bond, the bomber, steps up. Well, we could go on and on about great things that have been said about our stadium here. And you'll hear some 50,000 people telling you about it tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls everywhere, wait till you come out and see a game here. All right, the outfield set up deep. Infield wanting a ground ball for double play. Let's see what they get. Throw to first, diving back in. Rusty is safe. Close play there. Boy, that Joe Pepitone, he's a fancy Dan with that glove at first base, fellas. Just like there's nothing to it, playing that bag over there. All right, here's the pitch down. Rusty. There's one hit down to the left side. Double play ball. Tubac steps on second, throws to first. Got him. So Bond hits into a double play that went 6, stepping on the bag, throwing down to Pepitone. 2 back to Pepitone, and draw a line under that one, will you? And for the Astros, tying up the ball game, getting 1 run, and that one little hit, pump single, 2 men left on, there was 1 error. At the end of 6 innings of play, the score, the Yankees won, and the Astros won. Well, here we are. We've reeled off a 1-1 tie, ready to go. Gene, are you all set to come back? Let's see. A tie ball game. Houston won and the Yankees won. All right, Lowell, thank you, and we're all set to move on here now in the 7th. Tom Tresh, the center fielder for the Yankees, batting left-handed here against Kurt Farrell. A familiar figure just showing up in the bullpen down the left field line. He's wearing number 31, an old number 5 for Houston. Todd Deal, he's the pitching coach for the Yankees. There's a very high top foul. Van comes back, gives up on it, goes up into the mezzanine out of play, and it's strike one. Right-hander Hal Renniff is now warming up for New York down the left field line. Pete Nicholson warming up a few moments ago has stopped throwing. Fresh has been up twice, line to left field, top to shortstop. Score tied 1-1, top of the seventh. Farrell goes into his windup, and the pitch is fastball, the tie outside. And it's ball one and strike one. Well, the Turk has done a mighty fine job here tonight. He's allowed only 4 hits, and the only run came on Mickey Mantles' 415-foot home run to center field. Here's the pitch now. There's the slip pitch, and Fresh is trying to swing bunt on that one to the right side. Reached out and just got a piece of it foul. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Clete Boyer will be up next. He'll be followed by John Blanchard. Turk has struck out only 1 batter tonight and has given up 1 base on balls. And at one stage of this game, retired 11 batters in a row. Turk ready again now. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on. Hopper right side. Little Joe moves over. Morgan scoops it up. Goes to Bond. They got him and there's 1 down. Fresh bounces out second to first. Mantle's home run broke the string for Turk. Clete Boyer singled in the second inning, and then Farrell retired 11 men in a row before Mantle hit the seats in center field. Here's Boyer, single in the second, called out on strikes in the fifth. He has been the only Yankee strikeout victim tonight. Score tied 1-1. Houston, New York, top of the seventh inning. And Farrell's first pitch on the way to Boyer. Line drive, Spangler, left field. Al back got it, and there are 2 down. Line drive to left field. Hit right on the nose by Clete Boyer for the second out. That will bring up the Yankee catcher, John Blanchard. Down in the bullpen for Houston out in right field, left-hander Hal Woodeschick is starting to loosen up. And Hal Renniff in the bullpen for the Yankees off the left side. 2 outs. Yankees scored first in the top of the sixth. The Astros came right back to tie it up. Big cut by Blanchard, and he missed it, strike one. 1 strike to count. Actually, there are 6 levels in the Astrodome as far as seating is concerned, a total of 9 altogether. Here's the windup and the next pitch by Turk. Fastball, punched over third. He was checking his swing. It's in there for extra bases. Blanchard on his way to second. Spangler makes the pickup in fair territory, and Blanchard slows up and pulls into second base for the stand-up double. Blanchard was checking his swing on that. The ball hit his bat, and he popped it right back over third. Well, that's the 5th hit for the Yankees tonight. Gives Blanchard 1 for 3, and brings up the pitcher, Mel Stottlemyre. Well, the Yankees now lead in hits 5-4. Score tied 1-1. Top of the seventh. 2 out. Blanchard on second base. Stottlemyre has flied to center and fouled out Staub in right field. Right-handed batter. 2 outs. Blanchard on second base. Frankie Corsetti, the third base coach for the Yankees, motions out toward second base to give Blanchard the correct out. Here's the stretch by Farrell now. Not too big a lead by Blanchard off second base, and Stottlemyre took a very late swing at a pitch around the knees of the outside, strike one. Boston Red Sox beat the Chicago Cubs today, 7-4, another exhibition game. Chicago White Sox defeated the Cincinnati Reds 8-3. Farrell takes the stretch now. Pitch on the way to Stottlemyre, very low and outside. And it's ball 1 and strike 1. 1-1 count. Stottlemyre batting with Blanchard on second, 7th inning. Yankees 1, Astros 1. Mantles homer, the run for the Yankees. Here's the stretch now. Pitch on the way to Stottlemyre. Strike on the outside corner of the knee. 1-2 count on the Yankee pitches. Turk checks over the sign again with Ron Brand. There have been no lineup changes tonight. 1-2 stretch by Farrell. Line drive, a 1-hopper through the infield. Base hit, here comes Blanchard. Here's Wynn through the plate. They're going to get him. He's out. Beautiful throw by Jimmy Wynn. They not only got him, they had him by 10 feet. Stottlemyre singles in the center field. Blanchard is cut down. Jimmy Wynn to Ron Brand to retire the side. 6 hits off Farrell. No runs, 2 hits. No errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning now with a score New York 1, Houston 1. Now time for the 7th inning stretch now as we go into the bottom of the 7th with the score tied 1-1. Bob Aspromani, Jimmy Wynn, and Bob Lillis will be facing Mel Stottlemyre. Cleveland, San Francisco rained out today.
Another exhibition game, Minnesota 2. And the Mets won. And Philadelphia beat Pittsburgh 5-4. Here's Astro. Fly to center, bounce to shortstop. Right-handed batter. Outfield deep and around the left side. Stottlemyre, 23-year-old right-hander. Throws low, ball one. Howie Follett, Houston pitching coach, is down to the bullpen with Hal Woodasick as Woody continues to loosen up. Both starting pitchers are still in, Stottlemyre and Farrell. And the start of the seventh inning for Stottlemyre. He's allowed 4 hits, 1 run, struck out 1 and walked 1. Here's the pitch to Astro. Strike on the outside corner at the knee. And it's 1-1. Well, tomorrow afternoon we will have the Baltimore Orioles for you here at the Astrodome. A reminder that there are still seats available for tomorrow afternoon's game with the Orioles. Game time will be 1:30. Here's the pitch now. Swing and a miss by Astro, and Stottlemyre threw in a good pitch around the knees. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Our broadcast time tomorrow, air time will be 1:15, game time 1:30. The Astros and the Orioles. And tomorrow night, the Yankees again. Sunday afternoon, it'll be New York. And Sunday night, the Orioles. Stottlemyre ready again. The pitch to Astromonte. Low outside, it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And keep in mind the opening of the National League season on Monday night here at the Astrodome, and the opposition will be the Philadelphia Phillies. Nobody out, nobody on. Bottom half of the 7th inning. Yankees and the Astros are tied 1-1. Here's the next pitch by Stottlemyre. High pop-up off the left side. Clete Boyer moving into foul territory now, about 30 feet off third. He's got it. There's 1 down. Now before Jimmy Wynn comes on, let's pause for station identification. This is the Astros Baseball Network.
And this is KRLD AM and FM Dallas where the baseball action is. It's 3 past 9.
Right-handed batter Jimmy Wynn steps on here with 1 out. Wynn struck out in the 2nd inning and grounded out to shortstop in the 5th on a very close play. Stottlemyre checks the sign with John Blanchard. Here's the windup in the first pitch to Wynn, a right-handed batter. Ground ball hit to third. Boyer right on the edge of the grass. And on over to Pepitone, and there's 2 out. Wynn at the first ball pitch, a high ground ball to third to Boyer. Here's the shortstop, Bob Lillis. Lee has not had a hit in this 2 times. He has bounced out to third and the shortstop. Stottlemyre retired the first 7 men to face him tonight before Ron Brand tripled to the seats in right center field. Single by Spangler and a double by Bond in the 4th. First pitch on the way to Lillis, the ball. Astros scored in the 6th on a walk to Farrell, an error on the first baseman Pepitone on Morgan's ground ball. A single by Spangler and a fielder's choice ground ball. There's a line drive to second base. Handled easily by Bobby Richardson off the bat of Lillis to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 7 innings of play, the Yankees won and the Astros won. Mickey Mantle will lead off for New York as we start the 8th, and the Astros now have a new pitcher. Left-hander Hal Woodasick has come on to replace Kurt Farrell. Kurt did a real fine job tonight, his best showing of the spring. Going 7 innings, allowing just a home run by Mantle. He gave up 6 hits, struck out 1 and walked 1. Mantle now will be coming on as a right-handed batter for the first time tonight against the left-hander Hal Woodasick. Score all tied up at 1-1. 8th inning. Left-hander Steve Hamilton is starting to loosen up now in the bullpen down the left field line for the Yankees. There's Mantle. 2 hits and 3 trips tonight. Singled in the first, homered in the 6th. And in between he bounced out to second. This is the 4th game in which Woodasick has appeared this spring. Woody has only 4 innings under his belt. That is an actual spring competition. Of course, he's seen action in inter-squad games and so forth. Mantle takes it low outside, ball 1. Woody has not given up a run in the 4 innings. He's allowed 5 hits. No earned runs, rather, but he has allowed 4 behind him. 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Left-hander throws, and Mantle takes it low. Ball 2, no strike. First half of the 8th inning. Score tied 1-1. Woody has the sign again now from Ron Brand. Here's the pitch into Mantle. Tap is off of Mantle's foot, I believe. It just went foul. Brand picked it up off the left side of the plate. And it's ball 2 and strike 1. Brand gets a new baseball now from the plate umpire, Mel Steiner. Spangler left, Wynn center, Staub right. Aspromonte third, and Little short. Morgan second base, Bond on first, and Brand the catcher. Ball 2, strike 1 on Mickey Mantle. The left-hander throws again, and Mantle starts to go, takes the strike on the outside corner of the knee. Held up on it. Ball 2, strike 2. Well, we start playing for keeps on Monday night when the Phillies will be in here at 7:30. Low inside, full count. To Mickey Mantle, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Woody is a sinker ball pitcher, and that's what has made him so effective as a reliever. Keeps the ball low and around the knees. And forces the batter to hit it on the ground. Half foul off the right side. That leg certainly is bothering Mantle. He doesn't stand in there too well, although actually for Mantle, he has a home run and a single tonight with one bad leg. But he certainly is not controlling himself too well at the plate. I think it bothers him a little bit more batting right-handed. Here's the windup and the pitch now to Mantle. Low, ball 4, he walks. So Mantle trots on down to first, and that's the third time that Mantle has been on in 4 appearances at the plate. Art Lopez is going to run for him now. Arturo Lopez running for Mantle at first. So Whittick has walked the first time to face him. Mantle gets a nice hand. I mentioned when we started our broadcast tonight that it appeared that Mantle would be making only a token appearance because of that hamstring muscle injury, but he had just been taken out here in the 8th inning. Here's Bobby Richardson. Arturo Lopez running for Mantle on first base, and Richardson tried to bunt and he missed it. Strike 1. Both Aspromonte and Bond coming in from third and third. 2 bases on balls given up by Houston pitching now. Farrell allowed 1 in the 7th innings he worked, and Whittick has just walked Mantle to lead off the 8th. Roger Maris will be up next. Watching for the bunt again now, and Richardson missed again on the bunt attempt. Really slid up on the handle of that bat that time, and Whittick throws the fastball right by him. 2 strikes to count. Aspromonte is backed up a little bit now with the 2-strike count on Bobby Richardson. Bond is still holding up on first. Here's the stretch now by Whittick, and Richardson takes the ball. It's low and inside. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 count. Outfield is fairly well straight away here for Richardson. Staub, if anything, is shaded off the opposite side. They're giving Richardson right center field. Arturo Lopez takes his lead away from first base. Whittick throws on the way to Richardson. He got him. Ball strike 3. There's a sharp curve that caught the outside corner of the knees. Richardson has been called out on strikes. He is the second strikeout victim for New York tonight. Both were caught looking. Boyer was struck out by Farrell in the 5th. Here's Roger Maris. 1 out. Arturo Lopez running for Mantle on first. This score is tied 1-1, top of the 8th. Maris is 0 for 2 officially tonight. Swings and misses the first pitch. Strike 1. He walked in the 1st inning. And is also fly to center, popped out shortstop. Runner on first, Lopez. Here's the pitch on the way to Maris. It's a little bit too high. Hector Lopez loosening up along with Hamilton now in the bullpen down the left field line. So Lopez may go into the outfield. He may just keep Art Lopez in there. Here's the pitch on the way. There's a line drive right field. Staub in fast. He got it right at the shoot-top. Double play try. Not in time. The ball got away from Bond. They had him. Good catch by Rusty Staub right off the shoot-top. They almost doubled Lopez at first. But the ball dribbled out as Bond Smith came in on 1 out. So they almost had the twin killing on that one, but Arturo Lopez got back in. Sinking line drive to right field, handled by Rusty Staub. 2 away, and now here's the first baseman for New York, Joe Pepitone.
Gene, do you have the feeling that I do that these boys have adjusted both teams away from all the spectacular here and playing the top flight of brand of baseball?
Real nice game to watch. Everything is running along smoothly here tonight, and I think you get sort of engrossed in the ball game, and if it's at all possible, you forget where you are, and that's pretty difficult to do here. Here's the pitch on the way to Pepitone. There's a looper, base hit, left center field. Lopez on his way to third, picked up by Jim Wynn. The throw is back into second base, and Lopez holds up at third. Joe Morgan takes the throw back in from Wynn. So a looping single to left center field off the bat of Joe Pepitone. His second hit of the night gives him 2 for 4. Put Yankee runners on first and third with 2 men out. And the batter now is the shortstop, Tony Kubek. Ron Brand has called time, and he's going out to talk to Woodishick. Walt Bond over from first base. So there's the first hit off Woody. And he has coupled that base hit with a walk. So the Yankees are threatening here in the top of the 8th in a 1-1 ball game. Arturo Lopez at third base. Joe Pepitone on first, and here's Tony Kubek. All 3 times that Kubek has been up tonight, he's flied out. Twice to center, once to left. Long stretch by Woodishick. Here's the pitch. Bunt attempt, missed. That's the third bunt attempt by a Yankee in this inning off the pitching of Woodishick, and they have missed all 3 of them. Strike 1. 2 runs have scored in this ball game. Each club came up with a run in the 6th. Lopez comes down off third. Not too big a lead by Pepitone off this left-hander Hal Woodishick. Here's the pitch to Kubek. There goes the runner down. Brand fakes the throw to second, and that'll he faked the throw to second and then started to go to third. So Pepitone has moved up on the seal of second base. Actually, he got about 2/3 of the way down and then stopped. But he still did not draw Brand's throw. So it's a stolen base for Pepitone. First base open now. Yankee runners on second and third, 2 outs. And a 1-ball, 1 strike count on left-handed hitter Tony Kubek. Center fielder Tom Trace will be up next. Woody takes the full windup now, and the pitch is a good strike on the inside corner of the knee. Oh, that was a dandy pitch. That's the same pitch that he struck Richardson out on, I believe. Only Kubek, it came inside around the knees, the left-handed batter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Pepitone on second. Arturo Lopez on third. Score tied 1-1. Top of the 8th. Woodishick throws again. Now to Kubek. Swing and a miss, and he's struck him out. Well, the side is retired as Kubek goes down swinging. I don't know whether that was a changeup or not. Woody's been fooling around with that. That's the second strikeout. 3 strikeouts for Houston pitching. No runs, 1 hit. No errors. 2 men were left on base. And we go to the bottom of the 8th inning now with the score New York 1, Houston 1. We've had a defensive change now for New York in left field. Hector Lopez has taken over in left field for Mickey Mantles. Mantle lifted as Arturo Lopez ran for him, and now it's Hector Lopez in left. Fresh and center, there's right. Here's the catcher, Ron Brand now. Bottom of the 8th inning, score tied 1-1. Mel Stottlemyre still on the mound for the Yankees. Brand has a triple tonight. He picked that up in the 3rd. Ball was hit about 395 feet back into right center field. Brand, a right-handed batter. Ground ball to third. Boyer backs for the big hop. Got it on over to first base to Pepitone, and there's 1 out. That'll bring up Hal Woodishick. Brand hits the first ball pitch and bounces out to third. Here's Woody now. 1 out, nobody on base. Woodishick, a right-handed batter. Here's the pitch on the way now. There's a strike around the knees. 1 out, nobody on. Top of the batting order, Joe Morgan will be up next. Stottlemyre looks over the sign again now from Blanchard. Here's the pitch on the way. There's a ball that's in too low. Woodishick, the batter, making his first plate appearance. Stottlemyre comes down off the mound. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Woodishick. The official paid attendance tonight is 47,876. Swing and a miss by Woody, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. 47,876. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Woodishick. 1 out, nobody on base. Here's the windup and the pitch by Stottlemyre. Low and outside, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. About 3,000 fans are standing tonight to watch this one. The seating capacity, 45,000. Ball 2, strike 2. Here's the pitch on the way now, and it's low pitch, low and inside, and it's a full count of 3 balls, 2 strikes. This, of course, is the largest crowd ever to see a baseball game in Houston.
The previous high was 30,027. Watched the doubleheader against the Los Angeles Dodgers on June the 10th, 1962. Ball four, and Woodestick is on. Stottlemyre lost the pitcher, and Woody moves on down to first. That's the second base on balls given up by Stottlemyre tonight, and in both instances he has walked the pitcher. He walked Farrell in the sixth inning. Largest single game crowd to watch a game in Houston was 28,669. 47,876 paid tonight. Here's little Joe Morgan now. They're watching for the bunt, and Morgan made no attempt to bunt it. Took a fast strike on the outside corner up around the letters. Now Johnny Keene is sending right-hander Hal Renniff back into the bullpen out in left field. Renniff now warming up against the New York. Woody takes his lead off first base. One out. And the score tied 1-1 last half of the eighth. Here's the pitch to Morgan. Strike two. Boyer watching for a bunt, and Morgan has taken the first two pitches, and he gets behind two strikes. Al Spangler will be up next. Woody hangs close to Joe Pepitone on first now, waiting for Stottlemyre to get set. New York 1, Houston 1. Irons down again by Stottlemyre. Two strikes on Morgan, and the pitch is inside, just above the knees. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 count. Haven't been too many threats tonight by either ball club. Yankees scored on Mantles' homer in the sixth, and the Astros came right back in the bottom half to tie. Here's the pitch to Morgan. Swinging a ground ball to Pepitone. Goes down to throw it away into left field, and Woody's going to third. Kubek couldn't get it. That'll be an error on Joe Pepitone. He not only threw that wildly, he threw it way up in the air. Kubek went way up to try to stop it, but it had to be fielded by Hector Lopez in left field. So on the air, Morgan holds it first, and Woody goes to third. Here's Al Spangler. That's the third New York error tonight. 2 of them have been on Pepitone. And the other one was on Bobby Richardson. Here's Spangler now. He has 2 for 3. Both of his hit singles. Now Boyer, with the left-handed batter up here, is playing in the grass. He is getting his instructions now from Johnny Keene, and after looking in the dugout, he backed up a couple steps. And Keene evidently does not believe that Spangler will bunt here. 1 out. With Woodestick on third, they're not watching for the squeeze too closely. Here's the pitch. Spangler hits a foul ball. That'll be up into the field seats off the left side. Oh, that took a big bounce. And it's strike one. Yankees evidently figuring here that although it is possible that Spangler might try to bunt one here, that with Woodestick on third, it may be just a little bit remote. But Spangler keeps an eye on Jim Busby, and Boyer is still being cautious about where he plays on third base. Lead run on third. Score tied 1-1 eighth inning. 1 out, runners on first and third. Spangler lined to center field in the first inning, singled in the fourth, and then beat out that bunt hit in the sixth that rolled dead in third territory just in front of third. Boyer's just a step in the grass. Now he creeps in again a little bit. Here's the pitch into Spangler. Al taps one back over Stottlemyre's head. Here's the play at the plate by Kubek, and Woodestick is out. A big bouncer over Stottlemyre's head. Kubek played it on a bounce. Got it into John Blanchard. And Woodestick is out at the plate. So with 2 down, Morgan has moved up to second base. Spangler safe at first on the fielder's choice. And Woodestick out short to the catcher. Here's Rusty Staub now. Rusty looking for his first hit. Slide out, hit into a double play, and was safe for the fielder's choice. Staub is 0 for 3. Infield is back now, playing at normal depth with 2 outs. Stottlemyre checks his defense, gets up in the rubber now to get his sign. Here's the stretch and look back at Morgan on second. The first pitch into Staub, picked up by Rusty. He gave it a big swing that time, and he missed it. Strike one. 1 strike on Staub.
2 outs, 2 men on. Runners on as a result of a walk and an error on the first baseman, Joe Pepitone. Here's the pitch now to Staub. High pop foul, no play. Boyer shades over, but that goes deep up into the seats, back of the Yankee dugout. And Rusty gets behind here on the Yankee right-hander, 2 strikes. Well, we hope that you can make it for tomorrow afternoon's game out here. The competition tomorrow will be the Baltimore Orioles of the American League. Game time is 1:30. Airtime tomorrow will be 1:15. Tomorrow night it's the Yankees again at 7:30. Stottlemyre up on stop, 2 strikes. Spangler at first, Morgan at second. With second base occupied and 2 out, Al getting a big lead. Pepitone back off the bag. The pitch is way outside. He almost threw it away. And Blanchard made a good save on a high outside fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Last half of the 8th. Yankees have out-hit Houston 7-4. Score tied 1-1. Stottlemyre takes quite a bit of time now. He goes back on the edge of the grass back of the mound. Outfield is pretty well spread away. They're pulling Staub a little bit off the right side. Straight is shaded to right center field. Stottlemyre ready again now. Watches second base. Here's the pitch into Rusty. Ball outside. Another wide one. Right around the belt. There's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 count. Right-hander Hal Reniff in the bullpen for New York. R-E-N-I-F-F Reniff. Morgan takes his lead away from second base. Spangler well off the bag at first with Pepitone deep back of the bag. Kubek fakes to hold Morgan close to second base. Here's the 2-2 stretch. The pitch into Rusty, and he slams one to deep right field. Roger Maris there, though. He's got it to retire the side. Well hit ball by Staub. Hauled in by Roger Maris. No runs, no hits. 1 error, and 2 men were left on. We go now to the top of the 9th inning. With the score, New York 1 and Houston 1. Without a home run being hit and a full house here tonight, they push the button. And the gigantic display across the scoreboard in center field has just gone up. Here's Tom Trice now, 9th inning, score tied 1-1, and Hal Woodishick out for his second inning. Woody gave up a single and a walk in the 8th inning. First pitch to Trice, bouncing ball is foul. Crissetti tries to field that one and gets by him and goes to the Yankee bullpen, strike 1. Trice now, who also is a switch hitter, as is Mantle, batting right-handed. Against Farrell, Trice was 0 for 3. Line to left, popped to shortstop, and bounced out to second base. Nobody out, nobody on, 9th inning. Here's the pitch by Woody. Ball low outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Tom Trice. Trice will be followed by Clete Boyer and then Johnny Blanchard. Woodishick throws again now, and Trice takes a strike on the outside corner of the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 count. Here's the start of the windup in the next pitch now. There's a swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Woodishick got his 3rd strikeout. He struck out 2 in the 8th inning. That's the 3rd strikeout for Woodishick. Farrell struck out 1. That'll bring up the 3rd baseman, Clete Boyer. Well, we've seen a mighty splendid ball game here tonight. Been a lot of action. 1 home run, and that hit by Mickey Mantle. 1 out, nobody on. Boyer's had 1 hit tonight. There's the ball, and it's a little bit low and outside for ball 1. Boyer singled in the 2nd inning, was called out on strikes in the 5th, and lined out to left field in the 7th inning. Woody goes into the windup again. Here's the pitch down. Boyer hits a foul ball right at his feet, and it bounces out into fair territory. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. One count. Bill Linz now has come on as a pinch hitter here for the Yankees. L-I-N-Z, right-handed batter, and the first pitch a little bit too high for ball 1. 1 ball, no strike. Linz batting for Blanchard. Blanchard, a left-handed batter. has been taken out now on right-handed hitter. Phil Lynn's batting for him. There goes the runner down. Swinging a line drive, base hit right up the middle. Boyer moves to third. Wynn throws back to Joe Morgan at second base. So the Yankees execute the hit and run. As Boyer breaks to second base, and Lynn sends a pinch single right over second base to put Yankees on first and third with only one out. And now we're going to have a pinch batter here for the pitcher, Mel Stottlemyre. Pedro Gonzalez is coming on to hit. Gonzalez now. Pedro Gonzalez. This will be the second pinch hitter for the Yankees as New York now has put runners on first and third. Lynn singling on a line drive into center field. Fresh struck out, Boyer walked, Lynn has singled. And with this ball game tied 1-1 top of the ninth, the Yankees are threatening. Pedro Gonzalez hitting 182 so far this spring. He has one run batted in and one double. Here's Gonzalez, right-handed hitter. Morgan now trying to get some instructions from the dugout whether to play a little bit in or not. Here's the stretch. First pitch into Gonzalez. Swing and a miss at Woodishik's fastball around the knees, and it's strike one. One strike in Gonzalez. Left fielder Al Spangler is deep. Boyer on third. Lynn's on first, and only one out. Here's Woodishik's next pitch to Gonzalez. Foul ball. Right off of Brand's hand, and it goes back into the base of the screen. And Gonzalez gets behind here, two strikes. Morgan and Lillis at second and shortstop are just a shade in front of double play depth. They'll be trying to cut off the run at the plate here if the ball is hit to them. And right now, Woodishik out in front of Gonzalez, who's batting for Stottlemyre, two strikes. Here's Woody's pitch now. It's foul ball. Hopper off the right side. So the count holds at two strikes. Top of the batting order, Hector Lopez, who is batting in the spot vacated by Mickey Mantle, will be up next. Houston and New York are tied 1-1. Top of the ninth inning. Here's the stretch by Woodishik. The pitch to Gonzalez. Ground ball to hole. Lillis goes to second. Out. Double play ball. Got him. So it ties the side. Lillis had to go to his right in the hole on that one. He's got Lynch coming down on the throw to Morgan. And the relay to Walton completes the double play and retires the side. No run, one hit, no errors. One man was left on base. We go to the bottom half of the ninth inning, and the score is still all tied up. New York won, and Houston won. We have some changes now for New York. Bob Schmidt is now catching, and right-hander Hal Rennett is on the mound. So those are the changes for New York. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Astros Baseball Network.
And this is KRLD AM and FM Dallas, where the baseball action is. It's 9:33.
Well, we're on to the bottom of the ninth inning now with a 1-1 tie. And one run will win it for the Astros. Here's Walt Bond. Doubled into left center field in the fourth inning. Has grounded to first base and is hit into a double play. Walter, left-handed batter, Hal Rennett, first pitch. And Walt hits a foul ball, headed upstairs off the left side. Goes up into the mezzanine section, and it's strike one. One strike on Bond. Rennett for right-handed. This is the seventh game in which he has appeared for New York this spring. He's pitched 13 innings and allowed 8 hits. Here's the pitch to Bond. That's made him dance around right at his feet. Low inside pitch, 1 ball, 1 strike. Rennett has walked 5, struck out 4, and has an earned run average of 2.77 through his first 13 innings. 1-1 tie, ninth inning. Bond will be followed by Bob Aspromonte and then Jim Wynn. Right-hander throws on the way to Walter now. Ground foul. In behind Jimmy Adair coaching at first base. Hops out into fair territory. And Rennett gets out in front of Bond. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 count. 47,876. Paid crowd here tonight at the Astrodome. Monday night will be opening night against the Phillies. Baltimore here tomorrow afternoon. Yankees tomorrow night. Renniff checks his sign again now from Schmidt. Here's the windup and the pitch in, and Bond lined one, base hit in the right center field. Bond makes the turn, picked up by Trey, and Bond holds on with a single. There's a soft liner to the right of Bobby Richardson. And Houston has the lead man on, and here's Bob Astromonte. That's the first hit, of course, off Renniff. The fifth hit for Houston tonight. Yankees have out-hit Houston tonight 8-5. We have Emily Tracy with us tonight, Miss Astro of 1965, who was elected last year, you may recall. Here's the stretch now to look over the first. Here's the pitch on the way. Astro bunts one beautifully off the right side, but it goes foul. Started out very good on the grass, but then turned sharply and went foul. So Astromonte's attempt to bunt the runner up, foul ball, strike one. Not surprised to find Stan Sterritz in command over there. Stanley, you have some good duty there. Emily Tracy here, as I mentioned, Miss Astro, 1965. Emily, nice to have you with us. And Stanley, you're in trouble. Astro back in again now. Clete Boyer in close on the grass at third. 1-1 tie. Houston trying to get Bond around. He has singled to open the inning. One strike on Astromonte. Here's the stretch by Renniff. And the pitch on the way. Swings away, goes back to Renniff. Play back to Kubek. Out at second. Throw double play to Pepitone. So they switched the strategy on the first bunt attempt, went foul, and then Astromonte swinging away is banged into a double play. Back to Hal Renniff. Pitcher to shortstop to first. Here's Jimmy Wynn now. 2 outs. Well, we've had just about everything in this ball game tonight. Some real good defensive plays, the home run. And we've had quite a few double plays. That's the third double plays that the Yankees have pulled off tonight. Here's Jim Wynn, right-handed batter, and Renniff's first pitch on the way. And Wynn takes a strike on the inside corner of the belt, strike one. Astros have pulled off one double play tonight, so we've had 4 in the ball game. 2 out, nobody on. Bottom of the ninth inning. The pitch to Wynn. Strike 2 called. That was a pretty fair pitch. That just cut away from Wynn on the letters on the inside corner. And it's 2 strikes. Stottlemyre went the first 8 for the Yankees. Gave up 1 run, allowed 4 hits, walked 2, and struck out 1. Renniff, 2-strike pitch to Wynn. Low outside a ball. 1-2. Well, it's getting mighty close to that time now when the National League season will be getting underway. Houston's 4th year in the National League. Monday night here at the Astrodome against the Phillies. 7:30 start time. We hope that you fans will come out and see that one. That's the night we start playing for keeps. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Wynn. Fastball high and inside. Ball 2, strike 2. Yankee outfield is swung around the left side. They're playing Jim pretty well back. Lopez in left. That's Hector Lopez. Fresh in center. Maris in right. Clete Boyer, Tony Kubek, Bobby Richardson, Joe Pepitone on the inside. Ball 2, strike 2, windup by Renniff. The pitch to Wynn. Swung on, base hit, center field. Fresh comes to his left and right center to field the ball. Wynn holds on at first base. Boy, Jimmy. Wynn had to dive back into first as Bobby Richardson faked him off. He cocked his arm as if he were going to go to first base. And Wynn, who had made the wide turn, dove back in on his stomach. But there was no throw. Well, that's the second hit in this inning. The first hit, Bond, was erased on a double play ball. The Astros now picked up their 6th hit of the ball game, 2 out, and Wynn is first. Here's Bob Lillis. Well, the flea has been up 3 times without a hit. Grounded out twice and lined out. Here's the stretch now. Throw to first and Wynn gets back in. Joe Pepitone holding up against Wynn on first base. Bob Lewis, there goes Wynn. No, he holds up. There's a tap to third. Boyer backs up. Easy play to second base. Wynn is out there to retire the side. Wynn started to break on that and then held. As Lewis hits a bouncing ball to Boyer at third base, and the play down to Bobby Richardson to force Wynn And we go into extra innings here tonight. No runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, 1 man left on base. So as our ball game moves on to the top half of the 10th, the score is still all tied up. New York 1 and Houston 1. Here's the top of the batting order for New York, top of the 10th inning, Hector Lopez. This is Hector Lopez, first time at bat. He took over for Mantle in left field. Al Woodishick now starting his 3rd inning. Lopez hitting .311 this spring. 1 double, no runs batted in. Woody's pitch low inside, ball 1. 1-0. Now this is our 21st game of the spring and our first extra inning game. Lopez starts to go, holds up on a strike on the inside corner of the letters. Ball 1, strike 1. Bobby Richardson in the on-deck circle, and then Roger Maris. Woodishick throws again. Now low inside pitch to Hector Lopez. And it's ball 2 and strike 1. Score tied 1-1. It's been that way since the 6th. When Mantle homered, and the Astros came right back in the bottom half to tie it up. Ball, no, a call strike up around the letters. So Lopez takes the 2-2 count. Manager Luman Harris has gone all the way with the regulars except for the pitcher. Ground ball foul. He golfs that one into the, starts to go in the Yankee dugout back at third. Run down by the third base umpire, Al Salerno, the American League. Ball 2, strike 2. Nobody out, nobody on base. Top of the 10th inning. Here's the windup by Woodishick in the pitch now. Lopez hits a ball that is just outside the third foul. That's Aspromonte makes the play in foul territory. More than 250 news media representatives from throughout the nation are here at the Astrodome tonight. Of course, pictures and stories going all over the world. There's a swing and a miss, and he struck him out. That's a pretty good pitch by Woody, a curveball. And Lopez goes down swinging. That probably was more of a slider than a curveball because Woodishick claims he does not throw the curve. That's the 4th strikeout for Woodishick since he came on in the 8th inning. And the first pitch to Bobby Richardson outside, ball 1. Richardson has not had a hit tonight in 4 times. He was called out on strikes his last time up. Little right-handed batter. There's a hard hit ground ball to Lillis on 1 hop. The lead goes to first, and 2 men are out. Richardson grounds out short to first. Lillis to Bond 2 away, and that will bring up Roger Maris. Yankees have a total of 8 hits tonight, 6 of them off Kirk Farrell in the 7-inning T-work, and Woodishick has given up 2. Maris has not had a hit. He's 0 for 3. First time up tonight, he drew a base on balls. The left-handed batter looks to the soft strike up around the letters. Strike 1. 1 strike on Maris. Yankees and the Astros are tied up 1-1 here in the 10th inning. Maris starts to go and holds up a curveball that broke low and outside. Woody's throwing more soft pitches tonight, and it could be that he may be experimenting a little bit with a changeup. Outfield is very deep for Maris. 2 outs. Ball 1 and strike 1. The left-hander throws again now. There's a high foul. This will be up into the seats back over the screen. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. $47,876 fans watching this one tonight. And 2 games here tomorrow. In the afternoon, it'll be Baltimore and Houston. And the Yankees are back tomorrow night against the Astros. Here's Woodishick's pitch on the way. Now, that hit him. Maris is hit in the right arm. I think it got him in the biceps or above the elbow, and he doesn't seem to be bothered by it and runs down to first base. So Maris is hit by a pitch. Two out, runner on first base. And here's the first baseman for New York, Joe Pepitone. Pepitone has singled his last 2 times up. In the 6th and the 8th innings, and prior to that, he flied out twice. To Spangler and then to Jim Wynn. Maris takes his lead away from Bond on first base. Pepitone is almost hit. Throw to first base and just back in time. Maris just got back in ahead of the throw by Brand to Bond. Boy, Pepitone had to move in a hurry on that one right up underneath the whiskers. And Brand took advantage of it as Pepitone was out of the way. A left-handed batter. He shot a quick throw down to Bond. But Maris back in time. That's inside again. So Woodashik has hit Maris, the left-handed batter, in the arm, and then the next two, or the first two pitches to Pepitone, have been inside to a left-handed hitter. So Woody now has suddenly got a little bit wild, high and inside to a left-handed player. Brand goes out to talk to him. 2 out. Lopez is struck out. Richardson is bounced out. Maris has been hit by a pitch. Score tied 1-1. We're in the 10th inning. Woody has the sign again now. Maris takes a pretty good lead off this left-hander, and Woodashik goes to first. But not in time to get Maris. Left-handed batter, Yankee first baseman Joe Pepitone. Here's the next pitch. Foul ball. That's headed for the mezzanine off the left side, or the second seating level here in the Astrodome. Ball 2 and strike 1. 2-1 count. Outfielders deep for Pepitone, and they're swung around the right side. Maris again away from first base. Here's Woodashik's pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop. Bob Lillis goes to second to Morgan. Forced on Maris to retire the side. So the Yankees are out on the top of the 10th inning. No runs and no hits, no errors. One man was left on base. Bottom of the 10th inning coming up now with the score still tied. Yankees 1, Astros 1. Bottom half of the 10th inning now, and Ron Brand will lead off for the Astros. Then we'll have the pitcher, Hal Woodashik, and the top of the batting order, Joe Morgan. Hal Brand has had the longest hit tonight for Houston, a triple back in the third. Ball was hit around 395 feet or so. Walt Bonds hit the left center field a double, went just about as far. Last 2 times, Brand has flied out and bounced out. Here's Brennan's windup in the first pitch, and Brand takes low and outside for ball 1, 1-0. One other night game being played in the exhibition circles tonight. Detroit in the 7th inning, trailing Milwaukee 5-3. Foul ball. Right behind the plate, up and over the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brand is not a very big fella, but occasionally will show some power. And he has pretty fair speed for a catcher. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch by Renniff. Brand takes a good fast strike on the outside corner of the letters. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ball game has been tied since the 6th. It's 1-1 here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Renniff ready again now. Here's the pitch on the way to Brand. There's a ground ball to deep shortstop. Beautiful stop by Kubek, and the throw in time. Oh, boy. A little bit unconscious on that one, but he made a great play on it, going to his right back in the hole. He struck that glove in just the right spot, and Brand has been thrown out towards the third. Here's Hal Woodashik. But he's been at that only once tonight. That was in the 8th when he threw a base on ball. Woodashik, a right-handed hitter. 1 out, nobody on base. Renniff has the sign now from Bob Schmidt, and the first pitch into Woodashik is a low outside pitch for ball 1. Woody steps out to read his third base coach, Jim Busby, now. Joe Morgan in the on-deck circle off the right side. Renniff throws, and Woody takes a strike on the inside corner of the belt. And it's ball 1 and strike 1. Game time tomorrow afternoon, 1:30 against the Baltimore Orioles. Woody hits a foul up into the seats back off the right side. And he gets behind on Renniff, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hector Lopez in left, Tom Trace in center, Roger Maris in right field. And Renniff set again now. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Woodashik. He checks in time. Over the plate but low. Woodashik started to go but held up on it. So the count moves out to 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 count. Stottlemyre went the first 8 for New York. And allowed 1 run on 4 hits. The pitch to Woodashik. Got him that time. That evidently was the slider that broke away from Woodishick up around the letters and caught the inside corner. And Woodishick has been called out on strike. Now, that's only the second strikeout of Houston batters tonight. Jimmy Wynn struck out in the second inning. Woodishick is caught looking here in the 10th inning, 2 away, and here's Joe Morgan. Little Joe has not had a hit, although the last 2 times up he has bothered Joe Pepitone. And he has forced Pepitone to make errors on the last 2 times that Morgan has hit that way. Fastball, touch to go, and then held up in time, ball 1. Morgan is grounded out to second base and grounded out to Pepitone unassisted. Safe on an error in the 6th and safe in the 8th on an error. Strike call. Just caught the outside corner above the knees. Ball 1 and strike 1 now on Morgan. 2 outs. Nobody on. In the bottom of the 10th inning, and the Yankees and the Astros are all tied up at 1-1. With Morgan, a left-handed batter up here, Boyer's on the grass in front of third. Renniff throws again now, and Morgan takes a very high pitch for ball 2, and it's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Renniff now has allowed 2 hits in the inning and 2/3 that he has worked, and both hits came in the 9th inning. There's a looper back over Richardson, that base hit into right center field. Tom Tresh makes the scoop up on it, and Morgan holds him to first with a single. Well, that's the 3rd hit that Renniff has given up. Houston's 7th hit. The Yankees now lead by 1 in that department, 8-7. Here's Al Spangler. Al has had 2 hits tonight. One of them was a bunt to third. Now he's up here with 2 down and Morgan on first. Time is called as Renniff is going to tie his shoe. Spangler, a left-handed batter. 1 home run in this game by Mickey Mantles. Batting left-handed on Turk Farrell. Hit one into the center field seat. Here's the stretch. A lob throw to first by Renniff. And Joe Morgan gets back in. And a quick throw back over this time to Pepitone, and Morgan again back in there. Get real gusto and a great light there. Get Schlitt. Morgan edges away from first. Got to watch him over there. There he goes. There's a swing and a miss. The throw by Schmidt, and they did not get him. Stolen base. Two back over to cover on Schmidt's throw, and Morgan just beat him in. That's the 4th stolen base for Morgan this spring. He has tried 4 times. Now the Astros have the winning run in scoring position with 2 outs. A good solid base wrap here now by Spangler would mean a victory. Al has 2 for 4. Morgan possesses great speed. He stole 47 bases last year in the Texas League. Doesn't take too big a lead. Kubek is shaded around on him to hold him close. Renniff pitch on the way to Spangler. There's a fly ball left field. Hector Lopez coming fast. Falls here. Oh, look at that catch. Clete Boyer. He's up in the air. Actually, he had overrun the ball. And it retires the side. Boyer, with his back to third base, actually reached high over his head and behind him to spear that one. And Houston has been retired here in the 10th inning. As Spangler fouls out to the third baseman, Clete Boyer, down the left field line. No runs in the inning on 1 hit. There were no errors. 1 man was left on base. Our ball game moves to the top of the 11th inning now and still tied. Here's the pitch to Kubek. Just missed outside of the knees, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Score tied 1-1 as we play ball in the top of the 11th inning. New York and Houston. Quite a ball game for the opening game in the Astrodome. There's a ball, though, outside. Ball 2 and strike 1 on Kubek. Kubek has struck out once tonight. Woodishick struck him out in the 8th. And the other 3 times he's flied out. Twice to center and once to left. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Hopper to first base. Bond comes in, makes the play easily at first, unassisted, 1 down. So Tony Kubek opens the 11th by grounding easily down the first base side to Walt Bond. That will bring up the center fielder, Tom Tresh. Tresh, a switch hitter, is batting right-handed. Tresh is 0 for 4 tonight, and Woodishick also struck him out in the 9th inning.
Pete Mickelson is starting to warm up again for New York down the left field line. Ball is outside.
Outfield is deep for Tresh.
And they're playing this right-handed batter to pull. 1 out, nobody on. Al Woodishick, southpaw. Here's the pitch into Tresh. A little bit outside at the knees. Ball 2-0. Woody now is now in his 4th inning. This is his longest string of the spring, and he's given up 2 hits. Pitch to Tresh, fouled off. Hopper off the right side of the plate. Actually, Woodishick now is on the verge of pitching as much tonight as he had in any of the previously regularly scheduled spring games. Ball 2 and strike 1 on Tom Tresh. Foul ball. That hits the guy wires holding the screen and then pops up into the seats behind the plate. Ball 2, strike 2. Well, it has been quite a night for the opening of the Astrodome here this evening. And it's not over yet. We have a 1-1 ball game in the 11th. There's a high fly ball. Deep left field. Sanger back in the track, way back in the corner. He's got it. Ball hit about 335 feet down the left field line. And a mighty, mighty high one as Tresh is flied out 2 away.
There's Clete Boyer.
Boyer has one of the 8 Yankee hits tonight, a second inning single. And on the official side has 1 for 3. Called out on strikes, lined out, and the last time up, Woodishick walked him.
Clete Boyer, right-handed batter.
And Woodishick's first pitch to him is a swing and a ground ball to third. Astros' first chance tonight. There's a throw to first. They got him to retire the side. 3 up and 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 10 and a half innings of play, New York 1, Houston 1.
Hector is not in the plans, of course, as a starter for New York, but good man to have around, as is John Blanchard. Both good utility men. There's a foul ball that's fielded by Vern Benson, the Yankee coach at first. He shoots it back out to Woodishick. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, as we watch the amazing things that have happened here tonight in this amazing talent, you sort of look on to when the thing could suddenly be transformed. Oh, Woody, watch that one. He really threw that one away. That pitch slipped completely out of his hand. And it hit about 30 feet back over Ron Brand's head up against the screen. Ball 2 and strike 1. All the field seats here, 10,000 of them, can be moved around to position in for football. Here's the pitch on the way to Hector Lopez. Very low and in the dirt. And it's ball 3 and strike 1. Woody has given up 2 bases on balls and really has had only 1 wild swing. That was in the 10th inning when he hit Roger Maris and then got behind on Joe Pepitone, but he quickly settled down. Now he's behind on Lopez. 3 balls, 1 strike. Caught the inside corner. Lopez thought he had himself a walk on that one, but Mel Steiner said no, and it's a full count of 3-2. 2 out, nobody on base. Should Lopez get on, Bobby Richardson will be up next. Woodishick winds again. The 3-2 pitch, fly ball, center field. Jimmy Wynn barely moves for this one. Couple steps to his right to retire the side. 3 up and 3 down. So Woodishick now has retired 7 batters in a row since he hit Maris in the arm in the 10th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go now to the bottom half of inning number 12. The score, New York 1 and Houston 1. Last half of the 12th inning now, we have a new pitcher for the New York Yankees. Right-hander Pete Mickelson has come on to take over for Hal Renniff, who was listed for a pinch batter. Jimmy Wynn will lead off. He'll be followed by Bob Lillis and then Ron Brand. Mickelson spells his name M-I-K-K-E-L-S-E-N, Mickelson. This will be his 7th game this spring. He's pitched 16 innings, allowed 9 hits, and has a real good ERA of only 1.13 for 9 innings. 13 strikeouts in 16 innings and 6 walks. He's pitching like he's trying to make the starting staff here for the Yankees this spring. Here's Jim Wynn. He singled his last time. Right-handed batter, first pitch, low ball 1. Wynn has had 1 for 4. He's grounded out twice and has struck out once. Nobody out, nobody on base. Bottom half of the 12th inning, and this ball game is tied 1-1. It's been that way since the 6th inning. Wynn checks. It was in there for a strike on the inside corner of the belt, 1-1. Mickelson stands 6'2", weighs 215 pounds, and a native New Yorker.
Last year with the Yankees, he won 7 ball games and lost 4. Came up through the Yankee system. Here's the pitch now. Foul ball. Big cut on that one by Wynn, and he bounces it right at his feet. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bob Lillis has moved to the on-deck circle off the right side. Manager Johnny Keene now has used 3 pitchers tonight. Mel Stottlemyre went 8. Last half of the 11th inning, and Rusty Staub will lead off. And before he steps in, let's pause here for station identification. This is the Astros Baseball Network.
And this is KRLD AM and FM Dallas, where the baseball action is. It's 1 past 10.
They have 2 pitchers warming up now. As I mentioned, for New York, right-hander Pete Mickelson down the left field line, and now right-hander Claude Raymond has started to warm up for Houston down in right field. Here is Rusty Staub. Bottom of the 11th, score tied 1-1. Rusty looking for his first hit is 0 for 4. Rusty's flied out twice to Roger Maris in right field, is hit into a double play, and was safe on a fielder's choice. Al Renna, for right-hander, throws the first pitch to Staub. Strike called on the inside corner of the bell, strike 1. Mickey Mantle homered in the 6th, and the Astros tied it up in the bottom half. That's where she stands right now, 1-1. Rennett's next pitch, foul ball, just underneath Usher in the mezzanine section. And Staub is down on Renna here, 2 strikes. Center fielder Tom Stresch is over in right center field for Staub, but Hector Lopez in left, not throwing around too much on him. Rennett's next pitch now. There's a high pop foul. This will be out of play also. Back up and over the screen. Up, it hits the top of the screen and then bounces into the seat. That was an easy play for that fella. He took it on the box. 2 strikes. Rennett has a new baseball now and roughs it up a little bit. Rennett has a sign again from Bob Schmidt. Here's the windup and the next pitch to Rusty. Swinging a foul ball. Just got a piece of that one, so Rusty's still in there. Schmidt couldn't hold on to it. Kirk Farrell, of course, threw the first pitch tonight, and time was called after the first pitch to Mickey Mantle to open the stadium was a ball, and then was handed over to the president of the National League, Warren Giles. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. Rennett came with a good fastball up around the letters. 1 out now, and that'll bring up Walt Bond. That's the second strikeout for Rennett, the third for Yankee pitching. Bond has 2 for 4, a double and a single. Incidentally, that first pitch thrown tonight by Farrell is going to the Hall of Fame at Cooperstown. Here's the pitch into Walter. Ground ball, first base side. Easy play for Joe Pepitone. Unassisted, Bond has grounded out, and they're 2 away. Well, here's Aspromonte now. Astro is 0 for 4. Ken Smith, the Hall of Fame's curator, will accept that baseball from President Warren Giles. Well, 2 out, nobody on. Astro has flied out, grounded out twice, once to get into a double play, and is fouled out. Outfield remains deep and around the left side. Here's the pitch on the way by Rennett, and Astro checked his swing on a curveball that broke down and away, and it's ball 1, 1-0. That Detroit-Milwaukee game is over, and the Braves won it tonight from the Tigers 6-3. Staub is struck out. Bond is grounded out. Astro takes a fastball, low and inside. Ball 2 and no strikes. This is the third inning for Rennett. Woodishick now has pitched 4 innings in relief of Turk Farrell, and Mel Stottlemyre was the starter for New York. Here's the pitch to Astro. High pop foul out of play, hit it for the seats off the right side. The highest that any of the foul balls have reached tonight has been the second seating level here, and as I mentioned earlier, there are 6 seating levels. It would take a pretty good poke to get up too much higher than that. Runner set again now. 2 ball, 1 strike count on Astro. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop. Way back in the hole, Kubek throws to first. Lots of time. Astro is out to retire the side. So 3 up and 3 down, and that ends 11 innings. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Still all tied up here at the Astrodome. The Yankees won, and the Astros won. Well, we're on to the 12th inning here now in a 1-1 game, and catcher Bob Schmidt will be the leadoff batter. Both runs came in the 6th inning tonight. Schmidt actually is not on the Yankee roster. And, of course, it's not necessary for the ball clubs to pare down to the season's opening 28 until Monday. Here's the pitch. Schmidt, a right-handed batter, takes a strike. Strike one. This is only the 3rd game in which Schmidt has appeared. He's been at bat only 3 times. Has no hits and has struck out 2 of the 3 times at the plate. Strike on the inside corner above the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the lead batter for New York, top half of the 12th inning. Here's Woodishick's next pitch now. Low and outside. Ball 2, strike 1. Both bullpens are still occupied with right-hander Claude Raymond loosening up for Houston and right-hander Pete Mickelson for New York. Woodishick throws again now. There's a curveball. He got him on that one, and he struck him out. That was a very bad pitch as far as Schmidt was concerned. A good one for Woody. It was very low and inside. Breaking ball that Schmidt struck out on. So there's 1 down now. That's the 5th strikeout for Woodishick. This by far is the best that Woody has looked this spring. And I might mention again the best that Farrell has looked in the 7 innings that he worked tonight. Ross Machito is coming on to pinch hit now for the pitcher Hal Rennett. Machito is a first-year player. He spells his name M-O-S-C-H-I-T-T-O. M-O-S-C-H-I-T-T-O, Machito. He's an outfielder and played quite a bit in center field this spring for the Yankees. Machito now batting for Rennett. 1 out, nobody on base. So we'll have a look at Pete Mickelson in the bottom half of the 12th inning. Pitches outside a ball. Ball 1. 1-0. Hector Lopez, the top of the batting order for the Yankees, will be up next. Here's the next pitch by Woodishick. Ground ball to the shortstop, Bob Willis. Big hop for the flea, and the throw to first in lots of time. Machito is bounced out 2 away. Willis to Bond. Here's Hector Lopez, who replaced Mickey Mantle in left field. Mantle, bothered by a hamstring muscle injury to his right leg, did play through 7 innings tonight. Lopez has been up only once. In the 10th inning, he struck out. And it was Woodishick who struck him out. Woody's been pitching since the 8th. So he is in his 5th inning. This may be his last. Here's the pitch now. Ball outside, ball 1. Hector Lopez, right-handed batter. Hector is not in the plans, of course, as a starter for New York, but a good man to have around, as is John Blanchard. Both good utility men. There's a foul ball that's fielded by Vern Benson, the Yankee coach at first. He shoots it back out to Woodishick. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, as we watch the amazing things that have happened here tonight in this amazing palace, you sort of look on to when the thing could suddenly be transformed. Oh, Woody, watch that one. He really threw that one away. That pitch slipped completely out of his hand, and it hit about 30 feet back over Ron Brand's head up against the screen. Ball 2 and strike 1. All the field seats here, 10,000 of them, can be moved around to position in for football. Here's the pitch on the way to Hector Lopez. Very low and in the dirt. And it's ball 3 and strike 1. Woody has given up 2 bases on balls and really has had only 1 wild swing. That was in the 10th inning when he hit Roger Maris and then got behind on Joe Pepitone, but he quickly settled down. Now he's behind on Lopez. 3 balls, 1 strike. Caught the inside corner. Lopez thought he had himself a walk on that one, but Mel Steiner said no, and it's a full count of 3-2. 2 out, nobody on base. Should Lopez get on, Bobby Richardson will be up next. Woodishick winds again. The 3-2 pitch, fly ball, center field. Jimmy Wynn barely moves for this one. Couple steps to his right to retire the side. 3 up and 3 down. So Woodishick now has retired 7 batters in a row since he hit Maris in the arm in the 10th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go now to the bottom half of inning number 12. The score, New York 1 and Houston 1. Last half of the 12th inning now. We have a new pitcher for the New York Yankees, right-hander Pete Mickelson. has come on to take over for Hal Renniff, who was listed for a pinch batter. Jimmy Wynn will lead off. He'll be followed by Bob Lillis and then Ron Brand. Mickelson spells his name M-I-K-K-E-L-S-E-N. Mickelson. This will be his 7th game this spring. He's pitched 16 innings, allowed 9 hits, and has a real good ERA of only 1.13 for 9 innings. 13 strikeouts in 16 innings and 6 walks. He's pitching like he's trying to make the starting staff here for the Yankees this spring. Here's Jim Wynn. He singled his last time. Right-handed batter, first pitch, low ball 1. Wynn has had 1 for 4. He's grounded out twice and has struck out once. Nobody out, nobody on base. Bottom half of the 12th inning, and this ball game is tied 1-1. It's been that way since the 6th inning. Wynn checks. It was in there for a strike on the inside corner of the belt, 1-1. Mickelson stands 6'2", weighs 215 pounds, and a native New Yorker. Last year with the Yankees, he won 7 ball games and lost 4. Came up through the Yankee system. Here's the pitch now. Foul ball. Big cut on that one by Wynn, and he bounces it right at his feet. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bob Lillis has moved to the on-deck circle off the right side. Manager Johnny Keane now has used 3 pitchers tonight. Mel Stottlemyre went 8. Hal Renniff pitched 3. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Wynn. Very low outside. And Schmidt had to move fast to stop that one, down and off the right side, and it's ball 2, strike 2. Claude Raymond still warming up for Houston down the right side. If we get a man on, we'll probably have a pinch hitter for Woodishik. I think Woody's pitched as much as he's going to tonight anyway. Here's the pitch to Wynn now. Ground ball back in the hole. Beautiful stop by Kubek. Throw not in time. Well, I'll say one thing for the left side of that Yankee infield tonight. They have been magicians. That ball actually bounced off Boyer's glove, and then Kubek backhanded it. Still made the play to first base, but don't wait again Wynn, who packs good speed. And Wynn now has his 2nd hit tonight. That gives him 2 for 5. That, of course, is the first hit off Mickelson. The hits are all even now. Runs even 1-1. Hits are tied up 8-8. Now they're watching for the punt off the bat of Bob Lillis. Nobody out. Wynn on first base. Clete Boyer moves in from 3rd. Here's the stretch by Mickelson. First pitch to Lillis. Pitch out. Nobody goes anywhere, though. Wynn was not going. Schmidt called for a pitch out on the first pitch to Lillis, as both Pepitone and Boyer broke in. Lee is 0 for 4 tonight. Grounded out twice, lined out, and was safe on the fielder's choice. Mickelson checks the sign again with Schmidt. Lillis trying to bunt Wynn down to scoring position. Here comes Boyer in from 3rd. High inside pitch. Lillis was squared around to drop one down, but Mickelson's pitch was up around the head. And it's ball 2, no strike. This is the bottom of the 12th. Score tied 1-1. 47,876 watching this one tonight. That's about 3,000 over capacity. Boyer in close to 3rd again now. Wynn takes his lead off first base. Here comes Boyer. Here comes Pepitone. Lillis takes a strike on the inside corner of the knees. Possibly the take was on there. Pitch was in around the knees. Lillis was down to bunt it, but he didn't offer at it. There's nobody out, and Ron Brand, the catcher, will be up next. Ball 2, strike 1. Boyer about 25 feet in front of 3rd. Here comes Pepitone pulling away from first base, and Pepitone quickly ran back as Mickelson shot the ball over to first, but no chance to get Wynn there. Boyer still in close to 3rd. Ball 2, strike 1 on Lillis. Wynn takes the big lead. He goes off just about as far as... There goes Wynn down, swinging a ground ball foul. Oh, almost got it by Boyer, but it was fouled by quite a margin, in between Jim Busby and 3rd base. So Wynn was breaking on a hit and run there, and it's ball 2 and strike 2. Wynn with good speed on first base and nobody out. This will take off the bunt situation now pretty much with a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Lillis, so Boyer is backed up now, and he's just about even with 3rd. They are not expecting the bunt here with 2 strikes on Lillis. Wynn away from Pepitone on first. Pepitone sneaks over in the grass now. Here's the pitch, and Lillis did bunt, and he strikes out. Fouled it off back into the screen. So he took the gamble there. Very rarely do you see a normal batter in the order bunt on the third strike. But they thought the percentages were good there, with Lillis a pretty fair bunter, but he just couldn't come up with it, and he bunted foul and struck out. Mickelson's first strikeout. That's the fourth strikeout by Yankee pitching. One away now with Wynn on first, and here's Ron Brand. Brand has 1 for 4. He tripled in the third. Slide to center. The last 2 times up, he's bounced to Boyer and to Kubek. And Wynn takes the big lead away from Pepitone on first. Stretched by Mickelson. He draws the throw. He'll get a few throws over there with that lead. But Wynn has no trouble getting back in. Ron Brand, right-handed batter. Score tied 1-1, bottom half of the 12th. Another throw to first. And Wynn again back in. Jim Beecham has moved to the on-deck circle. He'll pinch bat for Hal Wittesik, so we'll have Claude Raymond on the 13th if this ball game is continuing. 1 out. Wynn breaks and then stops. Brand fouls it off. A hopper into the Yankee dugout back to third, and it's 1 strike on the Houston catchers. Mickelson got a new ball from Mel Steiner, doesn't like it, and asked for a new one. Stottlemyre, in the 8 innings that he worked for New York tonight, allowed the 1 run, gave up 4 hits, and Renniff did not allow a run, pitched 3 innings and allowed 3 hits. And Mickelson is given the 1 hit in this inning, his first on the mound for New York. Wynn again takes the big lead away from Pepitone. There he goes. There's a swing and a miss, and Smith doesn't get the throwaway. Stolen base. Smith juggled that ball. He didn't have a good grip on it. Just as he cocked his arm, it slipped out of his fingers. Although he held it, he could not get the throwaway. So Wynn gets the stolen base. That's the second Houston stolen base tonight. Morgan stole in the 10th inning. So for the second time in extra innings now, Houston has the winning run on second base. 1 out. And a 2-strike count on Ron Brand. Here's Mickelson's pitch. Brand swings and he misses. Lost the bat and struck him out. The pitch that Wynn stole on was a beauty of a changeup that really fooled Brand. Nellie Fox is going to bat. They had Beecham in there, but now they've called on Nellie Fox. 2 strikeouts in a row here for Mickelson. Had Jim Beecham in the on-deck circle, and I assume the move here is that he was hoping for an extra base hit off the bat of Beecham, which was power, and now with a winning run on second, he's put in Nellie Fox. Here's the pitch by Mickelson. Swing and a miss. Fastball. And it's 1 strike on Nellie. Nellie has seen very little spring action. This is only his 5th game. He has 3 for 12, a batting average of .250. He has 1 run batted in, and Nellie has 1 triple. Little left-handed batter. Mickelson throws. Fouled off the left side. So Mickelson quickly gets out in front of Fox. 2 strikes. Wynn on second base. He represents the winning run. Last of the 12th. Score tied 1-1. Outfield, of course, is shallowed up, and they have that very familiar Fox shift on. Fresh in left center field. Lopez shaded toward the left field foul line. And Maris shaded over into right center field. Nellie back in again now. 0-2 count. 2 outs. And Mickelson takes a quick check on Wynn at second base. Here's the pitch, and Fox walks one to center field. And the ball game is over. Here's the throw. And Houston wins 2-1. Well, Nellie Fox has delivered with a looping single to center field. I'll tell you one thing, Kubek just about came up with another sparkler. He didn't miss catching that by very much. Wynn scores, and Fox is a pinch hitter is wanted here in the 12th inning, 2-1. In the 12th inning, 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors. 1 man was left on base. And the final score here tonight, now the Astros winning this one tonight by the score of 2-1. Oh, what a ball game this was. For Houston, 2 runs on 9 hits. No errors. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 men were left on base. for New York 1 run on 8 hits. Yankees committed 3 errors tonight, and the Bombers stranded 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in this 12-inning ball game. The winning pitcher is Hal Wideshik, and the losing pitcher is Pete Mickelson. The official paid attendance here tonight, 47,876, and the time of the ball game was 2 hours and 35 minutes. Well, fans, that wraps up our play-by-play story here tonight with the Astros winning over New York by the score of 2-1. This evening's game has been brought to you by the Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Longview, Texas, and other cities. Schlitz, the beer that made Milwaukee famous simply because it tastes so good. By Maryland Club Coffee, the coffee you'd drink if you owned all the coffee in the world. Maryland Club, served everywhere in the Astrodome. And by Silky Smooth Lavera, the great state's great cigar. You can't get them hardly anywhere but Texas. Now this is Gene Nelson with a reminder to stay tuned for a recap of the game. We'll have an interview for you and a roundup of all the other activities in baseball, all on the Astros Wrap-Up Show.